Comic Timing is member supported by listeners like you over at patreon.com/comic timing. We thank you very much for your continued support of the show. For as little as $1 a month, you get some behind the scenes access. Those of you who have access got some early video from the 20th anniversary special that we were getting ready for, the first 20 minutes or so of that. So do check that out on the Patreon if you have not already done so. Plus some behind the scenes audio and video whenever we can give it, some diaries by me, some articles, you name it, we'll throw it your way. Patreon.com/comic timing. One-time donations also available at paypal.me/IAM sci-fi. Hey there, folks. My name's Ian Levinstein, and welcome to episode 290. 290, baby. 10 away from the big 300. How about them apples? Here on Comic Timing. And it is previews time once again, as we go from being very much in person to being very much in Zoom. And we got Raph on the call. What's going on, Raph?
Hello, Comic Timingers. This is my first time since the 20th anniversary. No, we haven't. No, we're not there yet. Wewe're not there yet. Please don't.
I'm 52 years old. Yeah. And of course, the one and only Adam Murdo back with us for previews. Welcome back, Murd.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. It is good to be here. You've given me the hall pass I need not to be in the Christmas shop tonight, and that is well timed, I must say.
That is absolutely my pleasure for you, and our pleasure as well, as we know folks look forward to these previews episodes, and I'm happy to provide them. I want to bring up an email that we got to the Comic Timing email not too long ago. Let's see if I can find it here. I'm just now remembering that I should have actually had it queued up. And it was from a listener by the name of Christopher Landvik, who sent us an email back in June, wanting to get our eyes on stuff that's coming out of Ignition Press. Now, Ignition Press is deep in the bowels of the Penguin Random House catalog, aka it's hard to find all of their stuff. However, he did want to point out that books by people such as Stephanie Williams have been coming out of Ignition Press. Roots of Madness, which is nominated for an Eisner this year, was published by Ignition Press, as well as a couple of other great books worth checking out. So if we don't manage to get to Ignition Press previews this very episode, I still wanted to at least acknowledge Christopher Landvik for sending in his very nice message to us, and getting us to mention Ignition Press here on this very call. So thank you very much, Christopher. And I like Stephanie Williams, so I will have to check that book out. But yeah, we got our usual previews catalogs to work through here. And once again, I will make that comment. Dear Penguin Random House, make a catalog we can actually read. Okay, moving on. If you do, we will use it. Trust me. Make it an old school style, separate it into different publishers rather than these are trades. These are single issues. Enjoy. No. Yeah.
We're reasonable people, Penguin Random House, and we don't ask for much.
Exactly. Yep. But later on in this very lunar catalog, we will be getting to Dungeon Crawler Carl, the graphic novel, as all things Dungeon Crawler Carl are all over the world right now. They're working on, is it a TV series or a series of movies that they're working on for Dungeon Crawler Carl? Raph, do you remember?
I think it's an animated series, not to mention the RPG that's based on this broke a bunch of Kickstarter records.
Ooh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been considering reading or listening to the audiobook version, as I hear that's supposed to be great. So I'll definitely look at both the graphic novel and the audiobook as options as we get there. But we shall begin with the winter catalog and begin with Ablaze. And here on page 4 of the catalog, we get ourselves an Eisner nominee in and of itself, The Lycan, #1, by Mike Carey, Thomas Jane himself, and David James Kelly. This is a nominee for Best Digital Comic, originally brought to life by Comixology Originals and presented in print for the first time by Ablaze. 2 issues in one with a gorgeous wraparound cover set in 1777. A hardened band of international big game hunters returning from Africa are shipwrecked off a small British island. In exchange for new supplies and the repair of their ship, Lord Ludgate engages the men for a task they are particularly well suited for, find the berserking beasts that have been eating his subjects and destroy them. Yeah, good idea. Good idea in general. Yep. And, again, that this is from Mike Carey and the Punisher himself, Thomas Jane. It certainly has me interested in this, and it being a Eisner nom in any form. Happy to see Ablaze putting it into print here on page 4.
Maybe I'll check it out and take a liking to it.
Oh man,
Yep.
Great start here.
We're off to a hot start tonight.
We are. This artwork, by the way, is absurdly good. Like the capturing the waves and the ship rocking the way it is here, and the water effects, very, very well executed. So good stuff indeed there. All right, as we get further down, we get to a book here, Medusa and Perseus, by Andre Breinbauer. With all this Odyssey stuff and whatnot, all these historic tales are on my mind, and this is a good one to bring up here as well on page 11. Was Medusa a monster? Was Perseus a hero? Andre Breinbauer explores the famous mythological tale in his debut graphic novel, telling the story from 2 different perspectives. Abused by a god and cursed by a goddess for her indiscretion, Medusa is subject to cruel circumstances. Perseus, still a child, is a plaything of the powerful. Featuring a unique storytelling device, Medusa plus Perseus is read from both sides, offering parallel points of view before the characters' legendary clash, where they meet in the middle. That's pretty cool. I like the concept of the book that kind of goes both ways like that. Page 11 for Medusa plus Perseus, and Perseus, depending on your preference. It's not ex-Perseus. That'd be a whole other thing.
Yes, it would.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other can of worms.
Yes, it is.
Oh, here's somebody doing a Popeye OGN.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Popeye Man Overboard, they're calling it. Written by the French creator Antoine Ozanam, and the artist and cover artist by the Brazilian artist lease.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is not your grandpappy's Popeye either. It's a slightly more mature take on the storied Sailor Man.
To say the least. And of course, previously offered through other distributors. Our favorite type of solicitation right there.
I wonder who they could possibly mean.
I don't know. It's a real diamond in the rough, but visually stunning and poetic. The story of Popeye before he became Popeye in this very adult version of Popeye Man Overboard here on page 15. Very fine artwork to go with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yep. And another Eisner digital nominee here, Parliament of Rooks, by Abigail Jill Harding and Richard Starkings himself, with art by Abigail Jill Harding as well. This is, again, brought to print by Ablaze. After waking from a strange dream, architect Darius Ravenscar. That's a name right there. Darius Ravenscar. Could you imagine working at an ice cream shop with the name of Darius Ravenscar? Like, no, that's not what you're going to do in life. Makes plans to head to the city of Iborvik to show the princess the designs she had commissioned. However, at the masquerade ball, it becomes clear that something is terribly wrong. This collects all 5 issues of Parliament of Rooks, which was originally released by Comixology Originals, here for Ablaze. Ablaze kind of taking the route that Dark Horse took a couple years ago and putting a whole bunch of the Comixology originals into print. So well done on their part.
Hopefully they don't end up like Dark Horse.
Hey, what? Dark Horse is doing all right now. Come on.
They're doing okay, but I'm a little nervous about Embracer Group because Embracer Group is a very Embracer Group.
They're in print, baby.
I agree. Yep.
Their monthly previews catalog is in print. I actually have a paper copy in my hands right now.
How about them apples right there? Okay, all right. So clearly somebody's doing something right for now. Let's see if they don't F it up. But so far so good. I like the look of this one here. Roderick and the City of Moorhill by Eduardo Medeiros. Roderick is a dedicated young postman from the countryside making a delivery to Moorhill, the biggest city on the entire continent. While his journey is initially exciting and the fantasy metro vibrant, the naive Roderick is blind to Moorhill's dark, sneaky underbelly. His precious cargo is stolen, and what's more, he finds himself at the corner of an ever larger conspiracy surrounding the disappearance of a famous influencer. Will Roderick be able to prove himself as a postman by delivering the goods, or will this froggy bumpkin be crushed under the goings on in the big city? Love the stylized artwork to go along with this here, and the design of the main character in general is awesome. Like it's like a frog without a neck. It's well done. There on page 19. And then Sliced gets a trade paperback here by Raphael Scavone. So any of you folks who are looking to check out Sliced, this was also released by Comixology Originals and Stout Club. It's all about a beautifully illustrated exploration of generational grudges and the effect of economic powerhouses on a small business. And presented and print for the first time by Ablaze here on page 21. And shockingly, it also involves pizza. So any of you pizza fans that aren't Ninja Turtles pizza fans or are Ninja Turtles pizza fans and just want more pizza, you'll get it there on page 21.
I mean, I can't argue with Scavone's work.
That is true. Yes. Yes. Yusa. And we go into Abrams. This looks like something that would probably be up the alley of Sir Eberly to get us started here on page 26, and that is The Dissidents. Autocrats, vigilantes, communists, and cartoonists. From the award-winning author of My Friend Dahmer and Kent State comes a timely graphic novel about racism, violence, and political turmoil in the early 20th century, when a handful of cartoonists and journalists push back against a corrupt administration to defend the right of free speech. Dirk Backderf, that's right, Dirk Backderf brings us The Dissidents here on page 26. What was that name again? Dirk Backderf, that's right.
Yeah, goings on during the Woodrow Wilson administration. Yeah, I think Chris probably would appreciate that since it's set against a real historical backdrop there.
Mm-hmm. Right up his alley. Down we go into Doctor Strange Endless Nightmare, a graphic novel by Kevin J. Anderson, illustrated by Raoul Allen and Patricia Martin. Here out of Abrams on page 28. We're seeing a lot more of this lately, both DC and Marvel dipping into other publishers to get out some of their stuff. And this is the latest book in the Marvel Arts line of standalone graphic novels featuring Doctor Strange and a psychedelic trip to the nightmare realm, brought to life by the creative team behind the national best-selling graphic novel adaptation of Dune. If you know how to do Dune, you probably know how to do Doctor Strange. That's a good parallel right there, and more than likely that is what we're going to wind up getting here on page 28 of the catalog. Get some manga, and we get Jagan, Volume 1. That's definitely how you pronounce it. By Minayuki Kaneshiro and illustrated by Kensuke Nishida. From the Blue Lock author comes a manga cult classic, a superpower drama of carnal desires and primal violence for fans of Attack on Titan, Alice in Borderland, and The Boys. throw the boys in there for good measure, and now I'm curious as to just how bloody this manga must be. But yeah, Attack on Titan, it can get that way as well, and Alice in Borderland can be freaky, psychedelic, and also a bit violent, to say the least. So Jagan Volume 1 here. Start off with a new manga all about police officer Shintaro Jagasaki, who lives a stable life with a girl he's dated for years. The future seemed all mapped out, but it feels unbearably dull, with a few screws loose, and his frequent fantasy to open fire on civilians to show for it. Oh boy. Jagasaki's mind is anything but stable. Then out of the blue, people suddenly begin to contort into monsters driven by primal urges to commit violence. And as chance has it, Jagasaki also gains a grotesque body morphing power, which transforms his right hand into a fleshy gun. Great.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those.
We most definitely have, yeah, but it's it's pretty random.
Weird body horror? No, never in my Japanese fiction.
Yeah, no, never at all, never.
What are we talking about?
Especially the type of story where you're like, oh, is this actually happening? Is this not happening? Is this a psychotic break? Is it not a psychotic break? This is the wheelhouse that manga does well, and we're going to get that here with Jagan here on page 31.
Can I ask you to scroll back up for a second, Ian?
You sure can.
Yep, right there, in fact, on the preceding page. I just wanted folks to know that a second volume of the manga Billy Bat by Naoki Urasawa and Takashi Nagasaki is coming out from Abrams. Yes, it's the story of a young cartoonist who goes on a quest to learn more about this little cartoon bat character he thought he created. But it turns out that this character has a hidden history extending back centuries and kind of has a life of its own. So, interesting little mystery. I have the first volume sitting on my dresser. I will read it before the summer is over, but they've already put out volume 2 for those who are interested.
I am definitely going to be picking this up from the library at some point. This is one of my favorite creators, and thank you very much for pointing it out, Murd. Anybody who, I mean, we didn't get to it on the 20th anniversary episode, but eventually we will probably get to it at one point or another of like your top 3 books of the last 20 years. 20th Century Boys was on my list as one of the best comics to come out in the last 20 years, and I love everything that Naoki Urasawa does. So yes, Billy Bat Volume 2, well worth mentioning here.
I have to think about that again.
Yeah. You will, and you will think long and hard, and you will think of something.
I mean, you willing? No, it's not thinking. It's whittling down my list down to 3.
Oh, exactly. Which is why I had said it that way in the first place, and then I was like, wait a minute, this shit's running way too long. We'll do that another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even there for that.
I know. And yet you were, because we played your voicemail.
That's good.
We did. You were in an airport.
I wasn't. I was in Newark Airport, actually.
Yeah.
Eating a overpriced burrito.
Yeah. Airports. Glad I'm done with that for a while. Long story short, Murd, they lost my bag for 3 days.
Oh, man. Was there anything important in there? Anything about?
My laptop charger, so I had to buy a new one, so I was able to do work the one day I needed to. But yeah, I at least they compensated me, so I now have $400 of JetBlue credit to spend within the next 6 months. So not bad. This is another cool one here out of Abrams. Too Hot to Tango. They describe it as High School Musical meets Dirty Dancing, and this feel-good queer romance with high-stakes hot tango and camp hijinks, delivered by 2-time Emmy-winning writer E.E. Salo and acclaimed cartoonist Megan Kearney. Nice combo there. Too Hot to Tango there on page 39. Always love to see how something like dance translates into the world of comics. And on we go into Ahoy.
Listening to the 6th issue of Garth Ennis's Babs, The Black Road South, number 6. So you ordered it once, you'll have to order it again.
Yes, indeed. And that is the only book from Ahoy coming out this month. So on we go into Archie. Archie will be in 2 places this month as a little bit of a tease, those of you who haven't read the full solicitations, because Yeah, it's not just in Archie's own books. He's got they're licensing him out basically. So we'll talk about him and Oni in a bit. But Archie's Halloween Spectacular here by Ian Flynn with art by Bill Galvin, Gwen Whitmore, and Jack Morelli. We were talking before the episode started on how Halloween is starting early this month in previews, and it is definitely the case here, as we get the Halloween Spectacular coming out right before Halloween on September 16th. Okay, it's a month before, but whatever. And that's there on page 49. And then a facsimile edition of Life with Archie #1 by Cy Wright, Harry Lucy, Sam Schwartz, Bob White, and Vincent DiCarlo. Classic from 1958, there on page 51.
Yeah, it says here Archie was starting to experiment with long-form storytelling, even that far back.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I might have to put that in my cart.
There you go.
I like the life inspired cover. That one I might look at.
Yeah. And then speaking of Dirty Dancing,
yeah, really.
all over the place here.
Yeah, nobody puts Archie in a corner.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. Although I do kind of wonder, the whole idea of a facsimile edition with variant covers, doesn't it kind of defeat the purpose of a facsimile edition? Because then it no longer looks exactly like the original comic.
Not only are there variant covers, they're variant foil covers.
Ah, damn it.
Well, that changes everything.
I know. Also, to be fair, and I know that this is a little bit different, but there were alternate covers and variant covers to the JLA Avengers variants that were coming out. So that's.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I know.
Oh no!
Where are they? Because I forgot
that
I ordered.
I like how because you have blur on, it's you disappear entirely into the ether as you're looking for this, Raph.
You can keep speaking, and I will bring it up later.
Okay, sounds good. But while we're saying that, not only is it Halloween, it's also Christmas, Murd.
Yeah, it's Christmas on September 30th. Yeah, this is this year's Archie Christmas collection. They're calling it Archie Jumbo Comic Magazine #2 Christmas Extravaganza. It's 112 pages of classic Archie Christmas comics for $15, which
wow.
somehow doesn't feel like such a bargain to me. I don't know.
No, it doesn't. And well, look at that amazing holofoil cover that absolutely came out that way when it was first released for JLA Avengers. How about that?
You can take the kid out of the 90s because I cannot exist temporarily in one time period, but you can't take the 90s out of the kid.
That is very true. That is very true. Yep. Says how the 90s is fresh again in everyone's minds in one way or another. We're slowly but surely getting out of 80s pastiche, and now it's starting to become 90s pastiche in the world of television. So yeah,
let's bring Valiant back a third time, and let's give them Magnus the Robot Fighter and what's the other one, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, and let's give them all foil covers all the time as well.
I mean, just tell Alien Press to do it, and they'll do it. So that's it. It's gonna happen, baby. It's gonna happen.
It does seem like a Magnus Robot Fighter title would be relevant these days.
Yes,
it would. It very much. That's why I just threw in Turok because I know I think Turok is still somewhat relevant in the video game space. But Magnus, Magnus would be perfect for this time period.
It would, yeah. Get on that, people. Get on that. Page 53 for that. And then Asylum Press on page 54, mentioning in passing here, mostly because I really just want to say the name. Fearless Dawn, the Battle of El Gigante Pequeño. One shot by Steve Mannion on the writing and the art chores there on page 54. The latest chapter in the Fearless Dawn saga in one-shot form. Page 54.
Ooh, hollow foil pogs. That's also what we need.
No, we do not. You take that back, sir.
Never.
All right, fine. The Wilderness Collection here on page 66. Also Previously offered through other distributors. I'm gonna have to create a drop I can use on my phone that with a reverb on it for whenever that comes up. But what is our relationship with physical and emotional environments? How do we react to and live in the world around us? This book explores the dimensions of how geography affects the psyche, from the known to the unknown, in colorful, gorgeous pen and ink illustrations. Transformation of landscapes from immediate and personal to fantastical and nostalgic captures the sense of place. Viewing each image creates your own personal experience of space, starting with more immediate spaces and ending with far away planets. This book is an emotional, creative journey, and that is what Claire Scully is bringing forth with the Wilderness Collection on page 66. And that is some gorgeous artwork to go along with it. Very painterly. And on we go into AWA, and now for something completely different, Beast Mode 510, 510 if you want to. Written by NAACP Image Award nominee Sheldon Allen, based on a story by Axel Alonso, and penciled by the one and only Dennis Cowan. They always get good artists over at AWA, man.
Oh, yeah. And
not to mention,
artists, the inks are by Dexter Vines, and the colors are by Chris Sotomayor.
Yep. Not to mention,
former football player Marshawn Lynch is apparently the titular Beast Mode.
Yeah.
Yep. Of course.
He's a freelance detective.
He is. I didn't watch every episode of that improv show. But it was his episode in particular was a standout. That was good stuff. Oh my God. But here, legendary fixer, freelance sleuth. So yeah, he's doing that again. Only this time it's not improv. Whose rough demeanor conceals a heart of gold. If you're from the 510 and have a problem that the authorities won't deal with, or if like they are the problem, Beast Mode will fix it with his thoroughly unique blend of brains and brawn. I feel like I should have read that like the A-Team, because they were it was feeling that way in a lot of ways.
You gonna read that again, Ian?
A pitiful. But that was his nickname when he was in the NFL was Beast Mode. So yeah, it's very much within realm there. So yep. Good for him on that. I'm trying to find the name of the improv. That's what it was. Murderville is what it was called in 2022. Will Arnett played a quote unquote detective, and there he would have a different like sidekick every episode. And one episode was Marshawn Lynch, and they were all improving through this whole detective thing. So yeah, this one's going to be a little bit more written than that one was here on page 770 with Beast Mode 510. And the artwork is just as good as it should be. Oh, hey, look, it's Bruce Lee.
Oh, it's Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Just chilling with Beast Mode. And The Rising gets a one-shot. Gregory Wyden and Lacey on the writing and art chores here. Written by Highlander creator Gregory Wyden at that. A Future of Fear collaboration between AWA and Roy Lee's Vertigo Entertainment, but not that Vertigo Entertainment. That's a very different Vertigo. Ray and his daughter Addie live in a dying industry town set deep in the Badlands, but this is an industry town like no other. Their industry is intercontinental ballistic missiles. And with the missile base closing down, it is time for everyone to move on. But for 6 coma patients asleep for 40 years after a mysterious accident on the base, things are just getting started. Oh boy. Yeah, that does not sound like a good time for said coma patients with The Rising one-shot here on page 76. Excellent cover by Tim Bradstreet as well. Let's get ourselves out of AWA and into Bad Idea. From the screenwriter of Love, Death, and Robots and the director of Brightburn, Philip Gellott, probably Gellott, right? Yeah, either way. And David Yarovetsky, and visionary artist Adam Polina of X-Force fame carve up a shocking new horror comic event. On a quiet farm, Branson, the youngest and smallest member of a close-knit family of goats, lives on an idyllic life of sun-drenched fields, fresh hay, and sibling rivalries. His greatest concern is proving to his older siblings, and more importantly, his imposing father, that he is more than just the runt of the herd. Then, in a single night, everything changes when the Fire Nation attacks. A drug-fueled, sex-obsessed, satanic hippie murder cult. Wow.
Okay. Turn there.
Yeah, all right. One more time. A drug-fueled, sex-obsessed, satanic hippie murder cult and a yellow polka dot bikini descends on the farm, slaughtering the family who raised and protected the goats before abducting Bronson and his loved ones. Deep in the wilderness, beneath a blood-red moon, hundreds of cult followers gather for an ancient ritual. This is getting cooler by the minute. Their purpose, to sacrifice the goats and summon a ravenous demon from beyond. Now the fate of his family rests on the shoulders of the one creature least prepared to save them. It demands sacrifice number 1. John Wick but a goat on page 83. Yes. No, yes, not nah, but
no. Well, I have to. So, how would Keanu do a goat?
Oh, whoa! Oh my God! Did you hear they're coming out with a Bill and Ted rock opera? By the way,
I am not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little excited. I would want to watch that.
It's apparently coming to Broadway next year. So excellent. And then, of course, the Scotty Young foil edition. We will never print this again. Okay.
All right. I guess I have to buy it.
No,
there's no choice there.
No, you don't. Oh, look.
It's Grant Wood's American Gothic that they slapped on the front of this Goats versus the Manson family comic.
Absolutely something the world needs right there, I tell you what. No, not really. There are 87 variants for this shit, so I'm just going to go ahead and go past it. It was a great idea. I wish there was only one cover, so, what are you going to do? All right, moving on. I think all the bad ideas have been made at this point, as all this stuff is kind of ongoing. But a reminder, any of you Alex Maleev fans, Derek Kolstad and Robert Vendetti, along with Alex Maleev, issue 3 of Warbird here on page 106, and it comes with an exclusive Bad Idea blue decoder glasses. Man, Bad Idea, how do you come up with this stuff? How do you do it?
Badly.
Yeah. That's one bad idea, Harry. 89,000 bad idea solicitations. Jesus. Come on, guys. All right. You know what? That's it. I'm pressing page down. That's how you know I'm getting out of something. All right. Okay. I think not much out of them this month. Clover Press, however, brings us on page 142, the Marvel art of Mike Zeck. The 10th in a series of stunning Marvel art of books and prints. And I'd say very few artists are as deserving of this treatment than the one and only Mike Zeck, one of the best artists in comics history, period. Not to mention his work on Kraven's Last Hunt and Secret Wars, Masters of Kung Fu, as they all list here.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Page 143 for the Marvel art of Mike Zeck. Ooh, look at that. Good stuff indeed. And then the classic newspaper comics of Amazing Spider-Man from 1981, featuring not just the writing of Stan Lee, but the artwork of Larry Lieber and Fred Kita. So you've got some Larry Lieber artwork to go with this as well. Stan and Larry teaming together here on page 146. Brothers in Comics. And on we go to DC. And it is a very big month for DC in a lot of ways. Starting off here on page 1/153, we get ourselves a launch of a brand new Teen Titans book, a very different Teen Titans book, written by the one and only Kyle Higgins, with artwork by Danielle Di Nicololo. So when one of their own vanishes after attending a rally for Ascend, a fast-growing youth movement training kids to survive in a world shaped by superhuman conflict, Fair Play, Cheshire Cat, Proxy, and Wildcard will do whatever it takes to find their friend, including teaming up with the Red Hood. Jason thinks they're soft and reckless. They don't understand how he can still kill people. Now they have to work together, whether they like it or not. A very new take on the Teen Titans begins here by Kyle Higgins on page 1/153.
Yeah. Very different.
It occurs to me that this year is the 30th anniversary of Dan Jurgens' attempted relaunch of the Teen Titans with all new characters. And I predict for this just as bright a future as that had.
Oh, boy.
Isn't it also 30 years of Young Justice?
Oh, I think you might be right on that, actually.
Yeah. Because I feel like Young Justice was either 96 or 97. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly.
I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure JLA Jr. at least was 96.
Right, yeah.
Let's see. Young Justice. Looking it up right now. First appearance of Young Justice. Why do you make it so hard to read, Wikipedia? Come on. Let's see. The ongoing began in 1998.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, so we're still a couple years off from that.
But I think JLA World Without Grown-Ups was 97.
Yes, that I believe you're right. Yep. All right, well, Teen Titans #1. Here's hoping it lasts 12 issues. All right, moving on to something that we very much hope lasts more than 12 issues. Legion of Superheroes is back. Joshua Williamson, great writer to be on it. Hayden Sherman with the artwork chores on that as well. And here on page 2/154, 1,000 years after the last son of Krypton's rocket crashed on the Kent farm comes a new future inspired by the Man of Steel. But this new future is in danger. Superheroes are outlawed. Deadly enforcers known as the Persuaders keep the populace of the United Planets in check. Worlds are at war. And this dark tomorrow's last glimmer of hope, R.J. Brand, has been brutally murdered. Can the mysterious Brainiac 1 of 5 solve Brand's murder? To restore hope to the universe, he must assemble a legion of gifted young rebels. Doesn't sound nearly as good as Legion of Superheroes, from across the cosmos, but they are scattered across the universe. Witness the dawn of a new future. And DC Comics architect Joshua Williamson and Eisner-winning superstar artist Hayden Sherman's Legion of Superheroes. You will never look at tomorrow the same way again.
Yeah, so it's yet another reboot/reimagining of the Legion. And
Yep.
I'm glad they're doing something with the Legion. I'm glad that we're getting some kind of a Legion comic.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure this one's going to have legs either. I feel more positive about it than that Teen Titans thing on the previous page, but it's not the best approach they could have taken. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna check it out though.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a go.
Honestly, the Titans one feels more like an outside, like baby outsiders, as opposed to Teen Titans proper.
I would agree. Yeah.
But this has a little more optimism for me, and also Michael J. Fox.
Yes, a epic Michael J. Fox celebrity cameo variant cover by that slouch Dan Mora.
That worthless bum. He doesn't do anything.
Really.
Yeah.
When's the last time he had a comic out? Like 5 minutes ago, he's slipping.
Yeah,
I know.
He's slipping so hard.
Come on, guys. Let's be real. I agree with your trepidation there, Murd, on another relaunch of Legion. However, I feel like it's been so long now since the Legion of Superheroes actually had an ongoing that it's worth a shot. And if this one doesn't work, then hey, Lightning Flash. Look at that. It's the original Legion. And, we'll just go ahead and go back to that. But also Jeff Johns tried that, and that didn't exactly work. So I don't freaking know anymore.
Yeah, we'll be doing Legion of 5 Worlds pretty soon.
Yeah, we will. We will. But look, the artwork's spiffy as heck, and I hope that Williamson gives it some new life. So we'll find out soon enough. And then another book that has had a relaunch in a couple years, Darcy Van Polgeest. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce her name, but I'm just going to go with that. And Nico Hendrickson, that one I know how to say, brings the Doom Patrol #1 here on page 4/156. The Doom Patrol is broke, adopting a heroes for hire business model, like it already. To stave off financial and emotional ruin, the team finds itself responding to a simple case, a missing cat. But when this case proves to be far from simple, the world's strangest heroes find themselves pulled into a truly out-of-this-world situation. And elsewhere, beyond the view of Robot Man, Elastigirl, and Negative Man, and perhaps even beyond the veil of our reality, a ghost of the team's past is preparing to cross into their world. This of the three that we mentioned is the one I'm the most interested in. I think this feels like Doom Patrol to me in a very important way, and I hope it works here on page 4/156. And then of course Lobo gets its 7th issue. My amp goes up to 11 billion. While on the same page, Barbara Gordon breakout #5 there on page 5/157. The 4th issue of W. Maxwell Prince's The Dead Man brings us forth on page 7/159. After last issue's truth-telling trek through the torturous terrain of Torment Town, that's pretty torturous, Boston Brand must balance the scales and make his way to that other place. But this ain't the heaven you know, man. Prepare yourself for an Elysium like you've never seen him, as the Dead Man continues to unravel the mystery of the Soul Eaters while the realm of the living bears the cost. Plus, a brief history of Mr. M. Find that in The Dead Man, issue 4 by W. Maxwell Prince himself.
Yep. Once again, this is the Ice Cream Man creative team.
Mm-hmm. You'll be happy to know, Murd, that I recently checked out Ice Cream Man for the first time. And it is just as good as you always said it was.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't checked it out yet, but there was an ice cream man outside my job, and I almost ran out to get ice cream from him. If that counts.
You should check that out, Raph.
Yeah, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
I think I'll follow through next time.
I think that's just as fulfilling, actually, in some ways, especially in this heat. You know.
Yes.
Far less terrifying than the Ice Cream Man we're talking about.
Oh,
very
yeah.
true too.
Yep. Page 8/160. By the way, Absolute Cassandra Cain. The Shadow's Hand? Didn't see that one coming. But Che Grayson and Matthias Bergara bring that forth. As years ago, the Joker trained with the League of Assassins, and when he learned all he could, he slaughtered everyone. But out of the wreckage of what was left came Lady Shiva and her daughter, Cassandra Cain. Learn the origin of the Absolute Universe's most formidable assassin and how her story is one that is intertwined with the world's greatest thief, Selena Kyle Catwoman. Interesting, very different take on Cass here on page 8/160.
Already on my order.
Nice.
Page 9, Absolute Superman #23 introduces the Absolute Toy Man.
Ooh.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, that should be good.
Oh, also already on my order.
Yes, I kind of gathered that. It has the words super and man in it, Raph. Come on.
Yeah, I am pretty easy to grab. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And in Absolute Green Lantern issue 18 here, after Joe's showdown with Sinestro and the Black Stars, she understands the harsh reality of this intergalactic war she finds herself in the middle of. But even with more knowledge of her powers and place in the universe, is she ready for the horrors that lurk in the unseen? Al Ewing continues his Green Lantern tale with issue 18 there on page 162/10. Now, here's one that makes me a very happy man. This is a Batman Bad Seeds tie-in. Greg Rucka, Rosa Icadal in Batman Bad Seeds Gotham General #1. From the maker of Gotham Central, now we go medical. Yeah, this is going to be great.
Next up,
Cool.
five seasons of Gotham Fire.
Yeah, Greg Rucka's just going to become the Dick Wolf of
Yeah, he is the Dick Wolf of the DCU.
exactly. Just like Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago Police Force, Chicago Sanitation. I think there probably is.
And the latest spinoff, Chicago Crossing Guard.
Ooh, yes. There's going to be a big crossover.
Yes, I've got get these damn kids across the street. You can't do it. That car's speeding over. I don't care.
Starring Kyle Chandler. No, but Bad Seeds Gotham General #1. Welcome to General, Gotham City's Tier 1 trauma center. Power is out, fires are burning, transportation is shot, not transpo. I refuse to say transpo. And the calls just keep coming. There are more patients than beds, half presenting with respiratory complications, the other half suffering hallucinogenic psychotic episodes. In every other emergency department in the DCU, this would be a catastrophe. For Dr. Ava Daster and the men and women working at General, it's a Tuesday. Well done. Well done with that solicitation outside of the transpo. So, yep. Bad Seeds, Gotham General, issue 1 here on page 12/164. I will most definitely be checking this out, and I love the Gotham Central send-up on the main cover there.
Well, speaking of Gotham Central.
Ha-ha!
No, there it is.
And speaking of who's doing it, Christopher Cantwell doing Gotham Central. What? Okay, I'm in. Bad Seeds is just going to get me to pick up all the miniseries in one way or the other because, yeah, Chris Cantwell, Jacob Phillips, Gotham Central #1 here. A killer is on the loose. Someone's stalking Arkham Towers, Dr. Zeller. The subways are out of control, and Anarchy's just pulled a big-time heist, with Vandal Savage diverting the GCPD's resources to his single-minded war against the Bats and the Bat family, trying to stop Poison Ivy while evading the GCPD. There's almost no one left to do actual police work. Looks like the officers Gordon and Espinoza have their work cut out for them. And that's what we'll get here in Gotham Central Batman Bad Seeds on page 13/165. And in the main Bat book, looks like it's going to be cold. We get ourselves some Mr. Freeze action in this Bad Seeds tie-in.
Nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Kill the heroes. What if he's going to say something about Adam and evil?
Maybe. Matteo Scalera, by the way, steps in on the art chores for this 13th issue of Batman, and that is not a bad thing because he's an excellent artist in and of itself. So Matt Fraction, Matteo Scalera, Batman issue 13 in that tie-in there. And then Tom Taylor and Dan Waters continue their Bad Seeds story in Detective Comics issue 1113, as spores, vines, and lumbering floronic monsters have invaded the Dark Knight City. As chaos runs rampant in the streets Batman has sworn to protect, Batman finds that Vandal Savage and his Tuco squads may prove even more deadly than the prehistoric flora that has taken the city for its own. Check that out there for the full story. And Batwoman issue 7 by Greg Rucka and Danny is also a Bad Seeds tie-in there on page 15/167. And so is Batgirl, and so is Catwoman, and so Nightwing, and so is Harley Quinn, and so is Poison Ivy because, it's a Poison Ivy story, but still. And that got through all that. Now, Raph, over to you.
Oh, Superman Kingdom of Zod special. This is the startling conclusion to Kingdom of Zod, which is we're going through all the Superman books. So before Batman had his big family-wide crossover, Superman did. The Kryptonite Kingdom has fallen. The only way to stop war comes with great costs and shocks. Supergirl versus Ursa, Superman versus Zod, the Super Force against Zod's army. The Super Family will never be the same after this.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because until and then the next universe, and then we all do this all over again. But,
Eh,
but that's
well,
not for a while.
yeah.
That's not for a while.
Yep. So did Clark forget how to shave? I don't know if I've ever seen him with a beard like that.
It's because when he goes super Kryptonian and he wants his beard to go blonde as well.
Oh my God, yes. I really want Super Saiyan Superman. So yeah, that's okay. Good. Well done.
I'm not caught up on Superman Unlimited, but in the first couple of issues, he had that ability to turn gold.
Yes.
After he expelled all his powers.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe he's bearded in gold at some point.
Maybe. Who knows? Page 19/171 for Kingdom of Zod special number 1. And then part 7 of Kingdom of Zod is in Superman Unlimited, issue 17. Part 8 in Superman, issue 42, as the Super Force returns. Most importantly, that still has Connor Kent Superboy in that. And then part 5. Yeah, wow. So great of them to put this in order.
Yeah, the final part is the first part they showed.
Yeah, wow. Supergirl issue 17 is part 5. Action Comics is part 6. Whatever, who cares? It's Superman comics. Enjoy.
I'm getting all of them.
Yep, I'm doing the same thing, Raph.
Yep.
Spoiling myself this summer.
Yeah.
You know what would be a really good way to keep track of these issues? If there was some sort of, I don't know, maybe like corner box or something like that was able to...
like a triangle in shape?
A triangle, maybe? Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be super. That'd be great. Yeah. Get on that, see.
It would be very man of.
Yes, it would be very of tomorrow. Wonder War continues, and every single time I want to say it as "You're my Wonder War." Issue 37, Tom King, Daniel Sampere there, and also out this month is the 2026 annual of Wonder Woman, the Matriarch special by Stephanie Williams and Leah Williams, with art by Eduardo Pansica and Belen Ortega. After the shocking events of Wonder Woman issue 34, Matriarch must crawl her way through hell and back to the land of the living to stop Steve Trevor and Trinity from changing the past. Great Scott! Check it out on page 22/174. This is the one that should have had the Michael J. Fox variant, clearly. I mean, come on. They're dealing with changing the past. Come on. And then, here's the slouch. There he is. Wade and Mora, Justice League Unlimited, issue 23 here. The epic finale to the Amnesty Saga, Batman versus Lex Luthor. Good times. Ooh, and a Times Past spy thriller. Jeff Lemire brings us in JSA issue 23. One away from 2 years of this JSA book already. After the JSA disbanded in the 50s, the heroes retired in order to maintain their secret identities. That doesn't mean there weren't still people in need. Witness a secret JSA mission set in the 1960s. Here by Jeff Lemire and Teddy Christensen.
I will witness that.
Indeed. Witness me. And Kyle's getting all swanky in Green Lantern issue 39 here. In Los Angeles, Fat choose you. Nice.
Yakov, very good.
Yeah. And issue 20 of Green Lantern Corps. Is that Jade there on the cover?
I want to say yes.
Jessica Cruz, maybe?
That could be Jessica Cruz, yeah.
Although I think the solicit for the one with Kyle being swanky on it does mention Jade in the solicit for that, so she's around.
Okay. All right, good to know. Yeah, because that looks a lot like her old Green Lantern outfit that she wore back during Kyle's run, so it was a little confusing.
Right. That's why that threw me off too.
Yep. The green hue doesn't help, but correct. Green Lantern Corps issue 20 there by Morgan Hampton and Fernando Passarin and Claire Albert. The Corps just can't catch a break. Page 24/176 there. Ooh, and the tidal war begins in Emperor Aquaman, issue 21. Epic clash of good versus evil in the ultimate battle of the seven seas in Tidal War Part 1. Between Ocean Master, Black Manta, Crimson Queen, and more, who forge an alliance to destroy their shared arch enemy. They had no idea that the destruction of Aquaman would also signal the vacated throne of the new Empire of the Blue. Now a massive tidal wave offers the opening salvo to a conflict that will span all the kingdoms of the heavens themselves. Do not miss the start of this new Aquaman adventure. Emperor Aquaman issue 21 by Jeremy Adams and John Times on page 25/177. And just in time for Halloween, DC's Quoth the Raven, Whatever, #1. Man, this is great here, page 26.
At least it's a fun Halloween special.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Plus, you got some great creators thrown in there for good measure. You always get some of the youthful creators involved with these one shots.
Oh, Isaac!
It's kind of a new talent showcase kind of thing.
Yep. Isaac Goodhart. That's what you're talking about, Raph?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I know him from my Midtown days.
Oh, sweet. Very cool. So do check that out. It'll have the likes of Swamp Thing, Constantine, Zatanna, Deadman, and more all involved in this here on page 26/178. We also get Batman and Robin Year 1 Dynamic Duos, issue 2 by Wade and Somni, with art by said Somni, and Celebrity Dirt Clayface here by issue 3 there on page 27/179. I also did learn, Murd, they're not using the name Basil Carlo in the movie. So they just decided to do that here.
All right, good.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Props to the filmmakers, I gotta say. Do you know what name they are using for the type of character in the movie?
Yes, I remembered it and then immediately forgot, so now I'm going to look it up again. Let's see. They are going with... Hold on 1 second.
Hagen.
Yep. Matt Hagen.
Okay.
Matt Hagen!
Yep. Jerry Lewis's favorite Clayface. Ooh. New story arc. Mark Waid, Adrian Gutierrez. Batman, Superman, World's Finest, issue 55. As in the crosshairs of the League of Assassins and their leader, Ra's al Ghul. Will Talia stand between her father's goals and her beloved Dark Knight? Find that out in issue 55 here on page 28/180. And then Bizarro Year None issue 3 finally comes out. Kevin Smith and Eric Carrasco with Nick Pitara on the artwork chores there. Me no excited at all.
Man, I forgot about that series until you just said it.
Yeah.
It's already a little behind schedule.
Yeah.
Issue number 2 came out right at the end of June.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I read issue 1 and I enjoyed it. I just completely forgot that issue 2 came out. So now I know.
I did too, because I was whiffing and I was like, when did this come out again? That's
Now,
I'm whiffing sometimes.
Here's a comic to buy.
oh, most definitely. Yep.
Yeah. It's on page 29 here. Batman/Superman/Weird Al, World's Weirdest #1. It's a fifth dimension story, and Weird Al's involved. Mark Waid is writing it. Art is by Dan Schoening, and vibes, in quotes, by Weird Al himself. Yeah, I see no reason not to buy this comic.
It's going to be a gem. It's going to absolutely be a gem. And each of the variants are as good as the main cover right here. Like looking at that Gaylord variant and Rosmo and the Spears one in particular. I actually really dig that.
I love the shirt selection.
Oh, definitely. So yes, do check that out. This will be some fun. Weird Al is always enjoyable, and especially when he's bringing the vibes on page 29/181. Issue 12, the final battle for tomorrow, and Philip Kennedy Johnson's final issue for DC at this time brings us to the conclusion of his Superman epic that he's been crafting here. So those of you who are waiting for this to be collected in full, that will be coming soon. Adventures of Superman, Book of L, issue 12. On page 30/182.
It's in the same previews.
Of course it is.
Because I already have it on order.
Well, there you go. Nice. and also continuing to bring the great cover game, DC X Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion #5. Like, I don't even care about the story. The covers are great. And here we go with something interesting. Return to the Golden Age. They did it for Batman. Now they're doing it for Superman. Wes Craig, the man behind this. Superman the Stranger #1.
Yeah, we're going full 1938 here. There's the strappy leggings and the triangular wrist shield. This is the early vigilante Super Roosevelt Superman here. Step into the Golden Age and witness the first adventures of Superman. During the day, Clark Kent does what he can to make ends meet in the bustling city of Metropolis. But when the sun goes down, so night has something to do with it, he leaps into action to keep the city streets safe. As Superman, Clark fights for a better tomorrow, but feels like he's not affecting change. The rich keep getting richer and the poor struggle to survive. Can Superman truly save the downtrodden? The next Superman epic brought to you by superstar creator Wes Craig. And as Ian suggested, this is basically the same thing they did with Batman and that first night thing. Difference being that this isn't tabloid size, I don't believe. It's just standard comics dimensions.
Correct. Yep. 32 pages for $4.99 here. And as you said, although all covers are cardstock, so it does have that going for it. Page 31/183. And, you know, if you were to tell me that this was a Kubert cover, I would believe you. Like it has like major, like either I think Andy Kubert more than anybody else vibes to it. Yeah.
You know, it's really funny. The Goran Parlov. I've got a better look of it right now.
Yeah.
It's Superman 3. It's Christopher Reeve. You remember Christopher Reeve after he chokes out his evil self and he rips the shirt and he starts running? That's him. That's what he's doing there. I think that's the cover I'm gonna get. Man, how can I not?
Yeah, I really dig that they're doing this, and I think that Wes Craig's the creator to make it happen. So page 31/183. I very much look forward to reading this when it does come out. So Superman the Stranger #1. He doesn't fly. He leaps tall buildings in a single bound.
Right, just an eighth of a mile, and it takes
Eighth of a mile.
bursting
shell to pierce the skin. Yep.
Let's also bear in mind it's a black label thing, so there will be some mature themes explored.
That is true. Over at Vertigo, we get Volume 1 of Bleeding Hearts by Denise Camp and Stepan Morian. We also get The Peril of the Brutal Dark, an Ezra Kane mystery. All 6 issues of that there on page 32/184. And the conclusion to The Nice House by the Sea by James Tinian IV and Alvaro Martinez Bueno, also presented there on page 33/185 in the Vertigo section. We're up to issue 4 of Supergirl Survive, the Elseworlds Tale by Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan, with Rod Rice on the art and cover there on page 37/189. And Father of Tomorrow, meet Hex Luthor. Wow, they did a very good job of merging Doctor Doom and Lex Luthor with this style of look here.
Are you going to be Dr. Fate, Mr. Luthor?
Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, man, there's another one that I look forward to reading in full when it's fully collected, because this looks like a great Elseworlds here.
Same here.
Yep. Kenny Porter and Danny Earls there on page 37/189. Superman Father of Tomorrow issue 5. The facsimiles. Speaking of a Kubert, get ourselves Joe Kubert 100 Years a Life in Covers issue 1. So not a facsimile on this one. This is just all Kubert covers here. So you want to get a whole bunch of those. And yes, of course there's a foil variant. Come on, man. Let's be real here. It's comics. And the usual gang of idiots bring you further Mad Magazine adventures on page 38/190 there as well. These are interesting. DC Work in Progress is a new line that they're whipping out here. This brings you the compositions that led to the final version of DC Classics. So you're getting Miller's breakdowns, essentially, for The Dark Knight Returns, and the same for Gibbons in Watchmen #1. And then, of course, celebrate 40th anniversary of the groundbreaking series by the guy who wants nothing to do with it and Dave Gibbons. There on page 39/191, Watchmen #1 gets the facsimile treatment.
That's going to get exploited forever.
Batman issue 11 by Bill Finger and someone else. So Batman 11 brings us the Joker versus Batman and Robin. Okay, fine, it was Bill Kane. And then issue 251 of Batman is presented, as well as a classic Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams tale as they reinvent the Joker for the Bronze Age. That's a very iconic Joker look that we had for years after that. Presented here on
I think I might get the foil cover for this.
Nice.
I believe that's the story on which the animated series episode The Laughing Fish was based.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? That sold me.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And then, just to make Alan Moore that more annoyed, they're also doing a facsimile edition of V for Vendetta. Because, why not? Why not? Celebrating Joe Kubert, we get ourselves DC Special #5. That's another facsimile that's being presented to us. This is includes art by Adam Kubert, Andy Kubert, Emma Kubert, Amanda Connor, Steve Lieber, and more. Must have for any fan with DC Special #5 there. And then the Return to Krypton in Superman 141. And then William Messner Loeb's original with Lee Moder, The Origin of Wonder Woman, presented in this Wonder Woman issue 72. But that does not look like the cover for it. That does not look right. Something's wrong there. All right, whatever. That was way too new to be a William Messner Loeb's Wonder Woman issue. So
it's a Bolin cover, so this is like 80s.
Okay.
It's definitely 80s because I can tell. Well, the bullet's 80s. The trade dress is very 80s.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Whatever. You know what it is? It was the Bill Loebs on the cover that was throwing me off. So, all right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Volume 3, Absolute Superman, The Never-Ending Begins. So that's collected there, 15 to 21 there on page 42/194. Absolute Green Lantern gets its 3rd volume. We got Matt Fractions, Batman Volume 2. Tom King's Wonder Woman Volume 5, whole bunch of stuff collected. As Raph was saying, just in time for the 12th issue, they're already soliciting Adventures of Superman Book of L in full here, all 12 issues of Philip Kennedy Johnson's story in one package. And then Justice League Unlimited by Wade, Mora, and Henry, issues 17 through 22 of that there on page 45/197.
They are moving a little quicker with the solicits because that JLU storyline is the one where is the same storyline that was the last issue was just solicited in this a couple pages ago.
Okay, all right, well that's cool. Good for them. Mind you, these trades are not coming out with 2 months from now. By the way, most of them are coming out in December, but that's the case for most trades. The Robin and Batman Jason Todd story that Lemire and Nguyen crafted, all 3 issues of that are available, and as is Volume 2 of Reign of the Superboys on that very same page, 46/198. Got an artist edition for Jesus Luis Garcia Lopez this month as well. So if you're looking for DC's version of the pretty artwork, you will find that here on page 47/199. Rorschach gets a deluxe edition just in time for facsimile edition of Watchmen. You get the Rorschach book by Tom King. So there you go. And here we are, sir. Brent Casino was just waxing opine that he got himself the absolute Crisis on Infinite Earths, and now here we are with a compact comics edition of Crisis on Infinite Earths for the smaller version.
Right, taking it to the other extreme. It's all 12 issues of Crisis in a 5.5 by 8.5 pocket-sized edition for a mere $10.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
Yep.
Have a Crisis in your pocket.
Yeah. Honestly, anybody who was looking to read it and didn't shell out the money, it's a damn fine way to do it. You get it all there in one collection.
It would be the 5th version of Crisis Stylone series at this point.
Yeah.
I have like the 90s trade with the Alex Ross cover.
Mhm.
I have the original Absolute from years ago. I have, which is funny because if you keep going, you'll see what I have. I have the first volume of that redone the events version of Crisis.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And speaking of which, I ordered volume 3.
Yeah. Well, this is that indeed. So we'll go ahead and mention here DC Finest Events Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. This is going to collect Crisis on Infinite Earths 6 through 9, as well as Blue Devils 17 through 18, Infinity Inc. 23 to 24, Legion of Superheroes 16 and 18, DC Comics Presents 87 to 88, Superman 414 to 415, All-Star Squadron 53 to 56, Green Lantern Corps 195 to 196, Omega Men number 31, Vigilante number 22, Justice League of America 245, and the Justice League of America Annual number 3. All in the order of release there. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up, but all in the order of release of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the story and all of its crossovers on page 50/202.
And somehow I missed volume 2, so I have to go find that somewhere.
Make it happen. We also got a DC Finest Superman Man of Steel. Yep. You
own this already.
You already own it. You don't need it. You already own it.
I don't need another version. I already own 3 versions of this.
Then
Please stop it.
Okay, fine. I'm moving on. John Byrne. Good stuff.
Well, this isn't just the Byrne series. This is the Byrne series and like the subsequent like ongoings collected in this thing. So and they did do that also. There was the Man of Steel series that I think went 10 volumes that DC put out like 15 years ago.
Yep.
I have that.
Nice. You don't need this then.
I don't need it. I didn't order it, so I'm not going to add it to my order.
Good for you. You show restraint, sir. You do that.
The only thing, I need the Crisis because I never read Crisis as intended.
Okay.
With all the crossovers.
And this I also need to say, like this, even though I know it's a sad story, it's the terror in the night. DC Finest Teen Titans Terror in the Night. Wolfman, Perez, Kupperberg. This tells the whole Terra tale, essentially. Teen Titans Terra in the Night reprints tales of the New Teen Titans 1 through 4, New Teen Titans 21 to 32, the New Teen Titans Annual number 1, Action Comics 536, and a series of never before collected stories from the 3 New Teen Titans specials published in cooperation with the President's Drug Awareness Campaign.
So that means we're going to see the Protector.
Oh, yeah.
The character they made up as a stand-in for Robin because for some reason of legality, they couldn't use Robin in those particular stories. So
brilliant.
Protector will show up.
I'd love it if they just redrew him or just photoshopped it to be Robin. But no, I'm glad. I hope the Protector's in there because I remember hearing that that's the Robbie the Robot essentially of the Teen Titans. Like we can't use the Human Torch. No, that he's busy doing other things. Let's just throw in a robot. Okay.
Throw in Herbie. There we go.
Page 51/203. And to close us out in the world of DC, we've got the Justice League of America Bronze Age Omnibus, Volume 4. Conway, Levitz, Wolfman, and others there. Some great Justice League of America stories, page 53/205. We also get Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty's Nightwing Year 1, with great artwork by Scott McDaniel. Thrown in there, as well as a new edition of Preacher, Compendium 1, and Dave Gibbons, Steve Rude, and Carl Kessel's World's Finest, the Deluxe Edition gets a 2026 version there on page 54/206, and The Warlord by Mike Grell's second omnibus gets its release as well. To close us out, Murd, you're not too far past this in your readings, as I remember it happening, but Superman Our Worlds at War, Omnibus Volume 2, All Out War.
Imperiex.
Yep. Good old Imperiex.
I'm further past it than you might think, Ian. I think
Excellent.
Worlds at War was 2001, I believe, and
Yeah,
I'm
it
up to
was.
2008.
Excellent. All right. Good. Good.
Oh,
You
so
get-
you're past the Black S era then.
I
Mhm.
am, yeah.
Nice. Nice. And Tom Strong Compendium, Alan Moore is all over these previews. 2026 edition, they are on page 55/207. And that will close out DC. On we go to Marvel in just a moment when I remember to actually open up what needs to be opened up. Here we are. Like, why did my Finder decide to close on me? There we go. All right. Boom. Marvel. There we go. Marvel, baby, Marvel. And yeah, might as well throw it in here. Changes afoot at Marvel that we're not going to see for a while, but Marvel's moving to Burbank. So as of next year, the New York offices will be closing for Marvel, and they will be absorbed into the Disney machine, essentially, officially, with offices in Burbank. And CB Cebulski is officially out as editor-in-chief and has been replaced by Steve Wacker. So, yep.
I remember when Marvel poached him from DC right in the middle of 52.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. That was for the Brand New Day era, essentially, or pretty close to it. So yeah, Wacker's a well loved and regarded editor by a whole bunch of people. So I think this will wind up being good for them in the end, editor in chief wise. The move to Burbank and further integration into Disney. Let's TBD on that, but I don't like that their New York offices are being closed, but it was bound to happen. Nobody works out of the publishing industry in New York anymore, unfortunately. So
I miss when New York was the publishing hub, and I could walk into Marvel's offices and people can go, "What are you doing here? Get out!"
Yeah, and I mean, you did that last Tuesday, so.
Actually, I did it the first time I did it with my classmate in college, and she ended up working at DC, at DC Direct.
Okay.
I didn't.
Yes.
But that's fine. I never really wanted to work. I mean, yes, I wanted to work at DC and Marvel, but like, I don't know. Whatever day you get me, my answer is different.
How about Avengers #1 by Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto? I think Zdarsky is going to be right for Avengers. I hope he is. He's been doing a lot for the company lately, and I think that him working on Avengers might very well be the right move. So we'll see where it goes. But he's going to be grounding things a little bit with Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain Marvel, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Redacted as the Avengers take center stage once again in the Marvel universe, and it all starts here.
You know, my first thought was, really, is it Chip? And then I remembered he did Daredevil, he did Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this.
Oh yeah, no, I think he does, and it looks like he's going for a little bit more of a new Avengers flair at start. But we may not be there at end, so we'll see where it rolls. Happy to see Luke Cage back on the team though, because I dig him in the world of the Avengers. Oof. Oh my God. And that Zdarsky variant is everything. That is really cool. Speaking of Zdarsky, the Siege of the Red Skull. Giant battle breaks out as Mephisto's volatile ally Red Skull and his army of vengeful spirits fight the free souls of the underworld. Can Captain America rally the dead and form his own army in time to topple Mephisto's restless hordes? Yes, it's Captain America versus Mephisto in Captain America issue 15 here.
What I want to know is, where is he going to find enough Marvel characters who stayed dead to field an army?
That's
so true.
So, well, it's fine. There'll be Uncle Ben. That's it.
Yeah, he's gonna go into heaven and just see a gigantic bay of revolving doors and go, "Oh, that's right, everyone left."
He could get Marvel. Marvel.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah, that's
Uh,
but that's about it.
yeah. Maybe. Oh, maybe. No, I think all the Ghost Rider hosts are alive.
Yeah, I think so. He'll figure it out. It'll be
A
fun.
Phoenix. There's got to be a Phoenix that's no longer around.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Page 6 for Captain America issue 15 there. And because it's the Zazarsky catalog. He's also on Avengers Armageddon here, 4th issue with that. Zdarsky, a key moment in Marvel history as a new character takes the stage. I'm gonna guess that's who Redacted is. That'll show up in his Avengers story. So page 7 for that. Marvel Comics presents a terrifying new universe, Midnight. X-Men by Jonathan Hickman. Fantastic Four by Benjamin Piercy. Spider-Man by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Shockingly, coming out in October, because Halloween. Boo.
It's their Dark Ultimate Universe now.
Essentially, yeah. But we'll talk about those solicits next month, as they didn't actually come out this month.
Yeah.
What did come out this month? Amazing Spider-Man issue 1000, including a cover that has since been removed because the internet sucks. And that is John Romita Jr. and Paulo Rivera's cover there, because too many people on the internet made it look like Spider-Man was constipated in this cover, so they didn't like that angle that Romita Jr. presented. I think it looks just fine, but whatever. I'm not that person. Still, the biggest issue in Amazing Spider-Man history, because it's 104 pages, so it's actually pretty big.
Yeah. We shouldn't be here until like 2070, but here we are.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what quadruple shipping will do to you.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Action Comics shouldn't be at 1,000 either.
I know.
Yeah, but whatever. It makes more sense for that book to be at 1,000 than Spider-Man. But here we are.
Yeah,
it has.
That one's existed since 1938. This one has not.
Exactly. Yeah, but
30-year head start at least.
I would say good on Marvel for not charging $12 for this 104-page comic. They're only charging $9.99. Which for them, that's restraint.
That is restraint. Sad to say.
Page 14.
It says, there's a story in here that's written by Frank Miller and drawn by Peach Momoko.
Wow. It's really great that they went into the random creator generator to try to find some of the stories for this one. Like they just put a whole bunch of creators in a hat and pulled it. Frank Miller, okay, all right. Peach Momoko, all right, sure, why not?
Okay, sure. Let's go for it.
Yep. Stuart Immonen and Brian Michael Bendis returned to Spider-Man together. Wow, man.
Oh my God, it's been so long.
I'm going to have to catch my ass up just so I can read. I mean, or I'll just read this issue. Who cares? Like, I'm so far behind on my Spider-Man, it's not even funny. But, this is still pretty damn cool. And this Marcos Martin cover is also absolutely gorgeous here on page 15 of the catalog.
I haven't read Spider-Man since Maryland.
Wow. Well, will you read The Amazing Venom, #1, by Jordan Morris with artwork by Luke Ross?
Would you on a boat? Would you with a goat?
Would you with a thwip? Would you with a whip? All right. Anyway, this is
who's
yeah.
The thing that the person in the symbiote here is friggin' Boomerang. That's what gets me about this.
Yeah, I know. I saw that solicit. It's like, really?
And you know what, Murd? It's gonna get me to read it.
It's tempting me, I gotta admit.
Yeah.
I hope he throws boomerangs. That'd be great. Like, I want him to have the full Ben Reilly suit, which he clearly has. That is not a Venom suit. That is the Ben Reilly suit with Venom claws. And I want him to throw boomerangs. Like, do both. Why not?
The solicit says he's calling himself Comeback, so maybe he's got some kind of like web-a-rangs or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he leaves comeback sauce at every single a crime scene. That's exactly what he does. Yep. Well, page 17 for the Amazing Venom #1. Sure is amazing that it's coming out. That's the way I'll put it. And then, all right. That forever contract really treats Chris Claremont well. Because now the creator of the Brood gets to co-write an Alien versus X-Men comic.
Which will have the Brood in it. So finally, they're just addressing head on the fact that, as Chris Everly has been reminding us for years, the Brood are just rip-offs of the xenomorphs from the Alien movies.
You
Which
better
is funny
damn
'cause
well believe it.
I've been catching up on X-Men 97, and the last episode I watched was the one with the Brood in it, minus spoilers.
Nice. Yeah, I just finished part 2 of the Apocalypse two-parter, so I'm one behind on current releases as we record this. Yeah, but yes, X-Men versus the Xenomorphs in this 4-issue mini that Kieran Gillen is co-writing with Chris Claremont, both with some excellent X-Men pedigree. They both worked on them for years, and Geraldo Borges on the artwork for this as well. I may actually check it out. It's just so stupid. It just might work.
I'm waiting for the trade.
I'll read it on Unlimited. But most importantly, and you might be surprised when I say this, Kitty Pryde's going to be in it, and Chris Claremont's writing it. I'm just like
What?
I know. His darling.
Yep, there she is.
Yes, she be. Oh wow. And okay, and it's that Cyclops outfit as well. So all right, cool. And then the March to Hulk War Infernal Rage, as we're getting close to that here. Infernal Hulk versus Wolverine. Philip Kennedy Johnson and Jonas Scharf, as he's back in the Earth Tones, and he's taken on a very menacing Hulk with a pulsating chest that's oozing green. Good times. Infernal Hulk versus Wolverine number 1, as the March to Hulk War runs through Wolverine. And he's on the bathroom for days afterwards. Runs right through him. All right. What? Come on, Psychospora. Come on. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, as somebody who experienced it long before this current outbreak, let me say I'm not eating lettuce for a few weeks. All right. The Muppets. Yeah, that was bad times. The Muppets take the Marvel Universe number 1. This is the comic that we've all been waiting for, quite frankly. Yep.
Yeah, this is a good old-fashioned Jamie D style. Bye.
Oh
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hulk.
It's Muppet comics of any kind. I'm buying. Let's put it where it's at. But we've got some pretty good creators working on this one. It looks like. Let's see. Chip Zdarsky for one. Mackenzie Cadenhead, the aforementioned Philip Kennedy Johnson. He does both monsters and Muppets. Kyle Starks, Adam F. Goldberg, Ashley Allens, and more. And with art by Pete Woods, David Baldeón, Kieran McKeon, and more. Probably several more on art. Yeah, and so some interesting Muppet and Marvel mashups.
Yep. A reminder, because I had to remind myself, because there's 2 Adam Goldbergs in the world of acting. This is the one who created the Goldbergs, not the guy who was on Friends and a bunch of other places. So yes, different Adam Goldberg. That's why the F is there. It's very important. But great artists on this one as well. This will be a very special comic to have. And of course, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker experimenting with gamma rays and Pym particles. Come on.
What could go wrong?
Yay! Page 22 there of the catalog. Although I got to tell you, it's always weird to see Kermit's feet.
It is.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's wearing shoes?
No, I think that's just the bottom of his feet, because his feet are shaped weird.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, no, I see the angle now. Yeah.
Yep. Gonzo and Ghost Rider. Oh, brilliant. Good job, Ron Lim. And a Muppets Treasure Island cover with Deadpool. Oh, man. All right. As we get further down in the catalog, whole bunch of stuff in its running issues. So we'll mention Spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Day reaches its 5th and final issue. Dan Slott, Marcus Toe, an excellent cover by Phil Jimenez as well. As Spidey must save the Punisher. Can Spider-Man free the Punisher from Mr. Negative's control? He better, or the entire city is doomed. 5th and final issue there of that miniseries on page page 30. There we go. And then Punisher versus Spider-Man by Abnett. Great cover. Wow, what a great cover by Eric Larson. Can't have it be any more classic than that, baby. Wow. Rage of the Rhino right there. As Alvaro Lopez is the main artist of this, and the main cover is by Jonas Scharf. But I don't care. The Larson cover is best. On page 31. Spider-Woman. Wow.
Yep, just 2 weeks ago, her first, Jessica Drew's first appearance in Marvel Spotlight, of which I do own a copy, floated to the top of my pile. And I read it, and I noticed in the edition that it was published in 1976. And I thought, gee, are we going to see some kind of 50th anniversary dealie happening for this character? Here it is.
There it be.
Page 32, Spider-Woman 50th Anniversary Special, #1, featuring some original stories by Ann Nocenti and Dan Waters as writers, and Stefano and Raffaele and Moore as artists.
Yep. Moore, my favorite writer and artist. Writer, artist, inker, and more. Throw it my way, and I enjoy it. But 50th anniversary.
As Stan Moore.
Yes, or TBD. Yes. So good on them for acknowledging it, and still some amazing kismet on your part, Murd, that you just happen to have it at the top of your stack at the right time.
Yep, these are the synchronicities on which the time bubble is run.
Indeed. Page 32 for that.
Actually, if I remember right, Amazing Kismet is what turns out to be the identity of Beautiful Stranger, who helps Superman defeat Imperiex.
Oh, God. Get out. Get out. Go.
You said Kismet. Strange Visitor. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
there
what
you
it
go.
was.
Occupying the body of one Susan Vance, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. I've been reading.
Is that the one that got the electric blue powers for a while?
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! Why do you think I do know her so well?
Of course. How could
Three people are on this podcast right now, I must say.
Yes!
Oh, my God. Well, page 33, we get DNX by, and not DMX, but still X going to give it to you. Jed McKay, Federico Vicentini, as the X virus is unleashed. It was bad enough we had an Inhumans virus. Now we have an X virus. So, yeah. Evolution is contagious, and Jed McKay tells that story in all 5 issues of that, first 2 of which are solicited on page 33 and 34 of the catalog. And then DNX tie-ins on X-Men issue 37 and 38. Fantastic Four issue 17 ties into that as well. So all that all the way down the issue to page 38 is covering all that. Fantastic Four also has a fill-in artist this month of Vincenzo Caruto, but you still get an Umberto Ramos cover out of that. Uncanny X-Men issue 35, Wild Ride Part 3. So weirdly enough, Uncanny X-Men is not actually crossing over into DNX, but the other books are. So, all right. Why not?
Good for Marvel for allowing Gail Simone to just do what she's been doing.
That is true. Yep. Gail Simone also posted to her Facebook. She got a call from Steve Walker saying, "Well, Gail, I have some bad news." And she was like, "Oh no, I'm your new editor in chief."
Sorry.
Sorry. And they had a lovely conversation after that. Wolverines versus the Facility. I almost said versus the Faculty. That would do something very different. In Generation X23, issue 8 there by Jody Hauser. And X-Force versus X-Force in Inglorious X-Force number 9. How much X-Force can we fit into a book? We'll find out. As it's Nina, Richter, Shatterstar, and Pug Smasher versus Archangel, Helverine, Ms. Marvel, and Boom Boom. Those are absolutely the people that I thought I would be hearing when I hear X-Force versus X-Force. I tell you what. Good old Pug Smasher. And then Claremont's third issue again, but Wanted there on page 43. And X-Men 97, Season 2, number 4 of 5, which is once again more like season 1.5, but they hate naming. Who is the heir of Apocalypse? We will find that out here in issue 4 of 5 of this series by Steve Fox and Salva Espin on page 45. X-Men Omega Red Dawn. This cover looks like it was salvaged from a trading card from the 90s, and I am very much okay with that. Especially with the fact that it's a Steve Orlando written book with Alan Robinson on artwork. As when Omega Red abducts Professor X, the X-Men follow in a hot pursuit that takes them around the globe and beyond. But time is of the essence as Omega Red unleashes a deadly chemical attack that spreads rage and violence in his wake. With half the team down for the count, do they have what it takes to save their beloved mentor and everyone else before the world becomes totally consumed by hate? This is reprinting an X-Men Infinity comic that came out in 2026, issues 1 through 10, which is clearly set in the olden days of the X-Men here. And the olden days, I mean the 90s, because they're all wearing the 90s costumes.
I mean, the most iconic costumes, arguably.
That is true. Ooh, interesting. From the pages of X-Men of Apocalypse, Gambit Gone, number 1, also by Mr. Orlando. So we get a Gambit spinoff of X-Men of Apocalypse here. As Gambit is pushed to the breaking point. What kind of man, what kind of husband, what kind of hero will emerge?
Here's the second in a series of Challenges of Doom one-shots. Written by Al Ewing. The first one was, of course, Doom versus Mr. Fantastic. Now he's, Doom, that is trying to make a pawn of Spider-Man early in Spidey's career. And we'll see how Al Ewing envisions that going.
With artwork by David Messina to go along with it there on page 51. Down we go to the Marvel Mangaverse Web of Blood, number 1. Murd and I are very familiar with the Mangaverse. As we return to the Mangaverse just in time to see it end, Joe Kelly and Jack Kelly are combining forces on the writing here with Kenny Ruiz on the artwork chores. This celebrates the 25th anniversary of the Marvel Mangaverse. Father-son duo Joe and Jack teaming up with acclaimed artist Kenny Ruiz of Star Wars Path of the Lightsaber to revisit the Mangaverse as readers have never seen it before.
So they're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Mangaverse by releasing a bunch of new books that have pretty much nothing to do with the ones that they put out 25 years ago.
Yeah, that tracks. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Did they announce reprint yet?
Good question, actually. But we do get Iron Knight by Cody Ziegler. The Blood Moon rises as a blood feud comes to a head. And we get Arcane Avengers by Ashley Allen and Mirka Andolfo. And we get Ghostlock, number 1, which is a cross between Psylocke and Ghost Rider. Alyssa Wong and Michael Eag are the creative team there on page 59. And we get Web of Destiny by Kelly and Kelly to close it all out at the end here. Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Magic will be your characters in this specific Web of Destiny story. Hopefully we are getting, the clan of spiders at least in this Marvel Mangaverse, just to, bring it home and everything.
Be nice.
All right. This is creative. Tom Waltz and Jaime Infante bring us Marvel Zombies Warzone. Escape the hunger. A zombie outbreak has hit Manhattan, and the whole city is rapidly overrun. And as Earth's mightiest heroes succumb to the virus, a barrier is hastily erected to protect the world. But inside the barrier, a war zone is broken out as survivors fight for their lives. And the Punisher has plenty of lead they can eat. Excellent. Punisher punishing zombies in Marvel Zombies Warzone on page 61. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
Who is the new All Venom? What? is that how they meant to say it?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow. I guess all Venom is a character. I'm assuming because Mary Jane is Venom, and so is everybody else. Venom world lives, but the world between Null and Hela just ended, and even 8 billion Venoms might not be enough to beat the winner. It's the strangest adventure yet for the world's strangest roommates. But is the lease finally up? And we'll see where that goes. I guess that's what they mean by all Venom, because everyone is Venom.
Right.
Yep. Page 64. This Black Cat cover is very fun, I must admit. Black Cat by G. Willow Wilson's 14th issue, as she gets a cosmic theft going. Perfect. Page 65. Black Panther Namor Doomed by Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, with artwork by Stefano Nisi. Black Panther and Namor trapped in hell with Doom. Spinning out of the events of Captain America and Avengers Armageddon, Black Panther and Namor must investigate hell when Wakanda and Atlantis are attacked by demons. Once there, these rival kings discover they aren't alone as they cross paths with the wandering soul of Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't going to go well.
Nope.
Sounds like an enemy of the state story.
Mm.
If it were written by Christopher Priest, I'd be buying it.
Well, there you go. Page 67 for that. And Greg Pak and Mark Buckingham bring us a from the world of the blockbuster movie Fantastic Four First Foes, Dragon Man #1. I am all about this.
Yeah. I'm still not wild about the world of the Fantastic Four movie, but it's a great creative team, and I love Dragon Man, so I'm at least partially about this.
Yep. That there on page 68.
And here's another strange project on page 69. It's a one-shot called Marvel Gold 76. I guess it's their way of celebrating the 50th anniversaries of a bunch of characters who happen to have, first appeared in that year all in one shot.
Mm-hmm.
So we end up having Thanos hiring Bullseye to pull out some kind of cosmic hit job, and Star-Lord, Nova, and Jack of Hearts have to team up to stop him.
Okay, sure, why not? It's Stephanie Phillips writing, so it'll probably be a lot of fun.
Yep, it's a heck of a Marvel team-up.
Mm-hmm, definitely. On page 69. Should have been on page 76, but what do you know? Ultimate Impact Reborn #5 of 5 to the Victor, the Origin boxes. So we'll see where this is concluding here in the Ultimate Saga on page 70 with Chris Condon and Stefano Caselli. Doom Quest, still happening. Issue 5 of 10 here. Ryan North and Francesco Mobley. Galactus arrives. He's a lot bigger than Doom. Just saying. And Whiplash in Iron Man #9 by Joshua Williamson. Whiplash is one of Tony Stark's greatest enemies, but why does he hate Tony so much? As the mysterious Citizen V and Iron Man must work together to stop Whiplash's dangerous plans. You know what? I don't even have to finish reading it. I heard the words Citizen V and Whiplash. That's it. Love both those characters. Iron Man #9 there on page 73.
You know what's not going... By the way, we were just on anniversaries. You know what's going unacknowledged this year?
What?
It's Darkhawk's 35th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
It came out in 1991.
Okay. Well, maybe once we get to 40, they'll do something.
Seems more like.
Yeah. Well, they celebrated by canceling the book he was in. That's what they did. Meanwhile,
I bought Imperial Guardians, Raph. I'm not the one.
there you go.
You and me both. We are not responsible. We did our parts.
Our hands are clean.
Exactly. Silver Surfer Facsimile Edition for the month is issue 7 by Lee and Buscema as the heir of Frankenstein strikes. And then Roger Stern and Mike Mignola's Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom Triumph and Torment gets a reprint. That's a deep pull right there. Man.
Yeah, it was a larger format graphic novel originally, but now they've scaled it down to an 88-page comic book.
Mm-hmm. Yep. From 1989 there. Available on page 74 of the catalog. And Thor issue 801, The Quest for Thor begins as Sigurd Jarlsson is an ordinary man, but he alone can call Asgard's greatest hero back to life. But to rebuild the bridge between humanity and the gods, he must begin his quest in the worst place of all. Somewhere in hell with one L, a man with a hammer begins a journey into mystery. Foreshadowing.
Gentlemen, I have noticed, I believe, last month's previews, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to join you for that one.
Yeah.
But I noticed that that was the death knell of the $3.99 price point for Marvel. And there's not a single $3.99 comic to be found in last month's previews, and there's none to be found in this one either. But Mortal Thor or just plain Thor, that is one of very few monthly comics that I will continue to support at Marvel, even at the $4.99 monthly price.
Yep.
To be honest with you, I only get Thor, Avengers. I was getting Uncanny and X-Men, but I think I'm just down to Uncanny now. And Imperial Guardians. I think those are the only regular. Okay, well, Imperial Guardians isn't a regular book, but the regular Marvel series that I get nowadays. Oh, and whatever Godzilla miniseries they have.
Yes, of course.
Use them a tool.
Of course, yeah. Meanwhile, in issue 16 of Fantastic Four here, because they put this solicitation for Fantastic Four completely separate from the other Fantastic Four solicitation that they had earlier in the book.
Which is actually the issue after this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The Fantastic Four have crash-landed on a far-off world and have been repairing their spaceship for weeks as they blend in with the aliens who live there, trying to keep a low profile. But when an unexpected discovery, shared with the best of intentions, leads to chaos, only the Fantastic Four can stop an entire world from sliding into a destruction of their own creation. This is a Star Trek issue, and I'm A-okay with that.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. Fantastic Four issue 16 here on page 79. Speaking of your Godzilla fix, we get the third of 5 of Godzilla Conquers the Multiverse here. When gods fall, Godzilla rises. With Doctor Doom dead, the multiverse broken, and Godzilla unstoppable, Miles Morales turns to an unexpected ally, Odin himself. Wow. These books just get crazier and crazier. I'm okay with that.
I still haven't finished Infinity War, but from what I understand, it's Null that teams up with Godzilla, and it's just like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, seeing the Thing all symbioted over there is a lot of fun, and featuring the Punisher, Mothra, Null, Kang, Emma Frost, Doctor Strange, Man-Thing, and more in this issue on page 81. Ah, yes. Man-Thing and Godzilla living together in peace and harmony. Ooh. This is actually a pretty damn good creative team right here. Chris Condon and Luke Ross bringing us Star Wars Rogue One, Darth Vader #1. Celebrating 10 years of Rogue One, when negotiations fail, that is, the Emperor sends in his attack dog, Darth Vader. So this is essentially telling the story of near the end of said Rogue One movie, where Darth Vader gets sent in to try and damage control a little bit. So Star Wars Rogue One, Darth Vader #1 here on page 83. And then Star Wars The Book of Boba Fett #1 of 7, with a variant cover by Jerry Ordway, bringing us back. But Rodney Barnes is the writer on this one, and Will Sliney on the artwork chores. 7-issue mini of The Book of Boba Fett begins here as Boba Fett holds court. That's on page 84.
Probably an adaptation of the Disney Plus series.
I would guess, or in some way a continuation of it, because I never actually finished that, to be honest with you. I think I watched the first 3, and then
it was okay.
It was decent, but then I just skipped it and went straight back to The Mandalorian. One of these days I'll go back and finish it because there's basically the last 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett are essentially just episodes of The Mandalorian. So it'll fill in some holes in by me skipping directly to the next season. All right. And down we go into the trades. What's that? They're doing a Death of Captain America premiere. Yeah, we know that. They advertise that every single month. But that's there once again on page 91. And Infinity War gets its collection on page 92 here. Collects all 5 issues of that. Nice. Jerry Duggan, the writer behind that. Excellent cover there. First volume of Joshua Williamson's Iron Man. All 6 issues of that first arc there on page 94 in trade paperback form. And Infernal Hulk trade paperback out as well. First 10 issues of Philip Kennedy Johnson's Infernal Hulk presented for you on page 96. We get Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four presented in full here. All 4 issues of that for $15.99. They're on page 99. It's like the only time I'm okay with a Greg Land cover is when he's drawing apes from the Planet of the Apes. That's it. The Cyclops miniseries that came out not too long ago by Alex Packnadel. That's all 5 issues of that there on page 101. And Rogues miniseries right there after it on page 102. Storm on 103. Magic and Colossus on page 104. All right, fine. Everything that came out from the X-Men in the last couple of months is on everything up until page 105.
It's so funny because we saw all the announcements for that near Comic-Con, and now they're all done and finished.
Yep. And on sale January 2027, the full collection of Predator Kills the Marvel Universe by Benjamin Piercy. Some great artists included with it. All 5 issues of the Predator Kills series, as well as Predator versus Wolverine, Predator versus Black Panther, and Predator versus Spider-Man included in this massive collection. Rainbow Rowell Omnibus available. That's all 38 issues of the 2017 Runaway series, as well as the 2025 return to Runaways by Rainbow Rowell. That's all available for you on page 108. Some of my favorite Runaways stuff since Brian K. Vaughan's original. I think Rainbow Rowell did a terrific job with the Runaways crew, and it's well worth checking out if you have not done so.
Yeah, I remember liking it a lot.
Yep. And then volume 2 of the Marvel Team Up Omnibus here brings you a whole bunch of old school Marvel Team Up issues. Some of Chris Eberly's favorites are the Marvel Team Up stuff, and this brings forth a whole bunch of them.
Yep, issues 31 to 64 and the first annual, plus a couple of random samplings from other places, including Marvel 2-in-1 number 17. Yep, I do love Bronze Age team-ups titles.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Page 109 for that. And going down a little bit further into the Epic collections, we get The Lazarus Conspiracy on page 113 here, as Mike Zeck makes his Captain America debut in this storyline. Collects issues 222 to 246 of the original Captain America series, Incredible Hulk 232, and Marvel Premiere number 49. All for you there, with some writing by Roger McKenzie, Peter Gillis, Steve Gerber, Roger Stern, Mark Evanier, Mike Barr, Stephen Grant, and others. And this is an Epic collection well worth checking out. The Generation X Volume 6. This brings Generation X to a close. So these are the final issues of Generation X in Epic form. Issues 63 through 74, the 4-issue Chamber miniseries, and then X-Men Unlimited issues 30 and 34 to close it off. And this was written by the likes of Brian Wood, Warren Ellis, Brian K. Vaughan, Andy Watson, and Ken Sui Chong, with pencils by Steve Pugh, Alan Evans, Ron Lim. Some excellent names in this, and it has the Jim Mahfood Generation X stuff in there for good measure. So this is a great volume to close out Generation X here. So do check that out on page 114. And to finish us off on page 118, Marvel Dimensions. This is Alex Ross's Abrams project. This is as he approaches Marvel at a new angle with new character inventions that invite readers to question what they think and what they know. Marvel Dimensions may be the latest title in the Marvel Arts line, but it is only the beginning. And they've got some preview pages for that on the next couple of pages as well. And it's very, very beautiful stuff. And one more reminder that X-Men Elsewhere exists, because it's insane.
This is the John Byrne fanfic, right?
You're damn skippy.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. The one where he was like, I will never bring this to Marvel. We'll give you money. I will bring this to Marvel. So this is
very,
it.
Very pricey, but I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah. I will get it when it's on how you say discount. But I appreciate what this is. And I've heard some very positive things about it, so I will definitely check it out at some point. If you want to call it a what if, it's basically what if John Byrne picked up writing the X-Men after the Dark Phoenix saga when it ended the way him and Claremont originally intended, which is Jean surviving and being powerless, and it continues from there. So, yep. Very interesting stuff to be had. And it's very interesting that we're finally done with the Marvel catalog. So on we go to more stuff. And let's take us over to Dark Horse for a moment here.
Funny to see a Superman ad at the end of the Marvel previews.
Yeah, I know, right? Arrivals, #1 by Mr. Hickman and Del Mundo. Presented in a Prestige magazine-sized format. See, there's your Prestige format. Showcasing stunning artwork from some of the leading creators in comics. This is a 3-issue series, beginning a brand new sci-fi epic in a bold new universe for them to explore. Once again, Hickman and Del Mundo are your mains behind this, and that's on page 2 of the catalog. The Hellboy offering for the month, written by Mignola Solo, with artwork by Cyril Palmas, as Hellboy steps in to save a young woman being chased by winged beasts deep in hell in the midst of an uprising against the most powerful demons, but nothing and no one are what they seem to be. This is a 2-issue arc here. Hellboy in Hell, Nothing But Blood, #1, starts us off there on page 6.
All right.
Wow.
On page 8, a fun trip back to the world of Patton Oswalt's Minor Threats. It's a new miniseries called Minor Threats, Welcome to Twilight, Villains and Vignettes, #1. And this is an anthology. We're being told it's 4 issues, and each one has a few different stories by a few different creative teams, all set in Oswalt's world of heroes and villains. This one's got a story by Mark Waid and Scott Collins. Nothing wrong with that sentence. Then there's also one written by Oswalt himself with help by Jordan Bloom and art by Mike Mignola. And the third story is by Scott Hepburn and Carrie Nord. Haven't heard his name in too long a time.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, bring in the thunder with this first issue, and this will be a 4-issue anthology series. And yeah, this is just starting us off here on page 8. Excellent pedigree right there. The third of the Kill All Immortals saga by Zach Kaplan and Francesco Mortarino begins here. This is the action-packed finale of this 3-part series, and it will be a 5-issue mini, and starts us off with the first issue on page 10. The Ring, The Man Who Beat the Man by Gail Simone is in its 4th of 8 here on page 15. And Tom King's 6 of Us gets its 2nd issue. Chapter 2, The Thing About Killing That Guy. Yeah, really looking forward to reading this one. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Page 16.
I have been watching a lot of reruns of Friends lately, so I'd like Tom King to come into my brain and deconstruct all of that for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, no one told you life was going to be this way. Clap, 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 clap. Mark Miller's Complete Nemesis gets a collection library edition. Nemesis issues volumes 1 through 3, Big Game and Nemesis Forever. What if Mark Miller made Frank Miller's Batman, basically? And yeah.
It's just like the most edgy edgelord 15-year-old character ever.
Oh no, I get you. Yeah.
I didn't love the first volume.
Well, guess what? There's 3 of them, and now they're all.
I know.
Yeah.
On that same page, Dark Horse is publishing the 3rd volume of Omnibuses of Jim Starlin's independently published Dread Star, issues 25 through 40. I still haven't gotten my copy of volume 2, and I also still haven't read the copy of volume 1 that I do have. But it's Starlin, so it gets a vote of faith from me.
Most definitely. This is also going to include the short stories Amber 1 and Amber 3 included in this this omnibus collection. We also got an omnibus volume 4 of Empowered by the one and only Adam Warren, one of my favorite creators. So
I love Empowered. I don't think I'm caught up. I Empowered finished right around the time I was sick, so I wasn't reading a lot of comics. So I think I gotta, maybe not volume 4, but volume 5 I have to pick up.
Yeah, this collects volumes 10 through 12 of Empowered.
Oh, maybe it is this one then.
It could be, yeah. But Emp's universe begins inexplicably rebooting itself over and over again, with each radical reimagining more twisted and bizarre than the last. That sounds like fun. Page 23 for that. And then G. Will Wilson's Invisible Kingdom gets a full omnibus here as well, with great artwork by Christian Ward to go along with it. All 3 volumes of Invisible Kingdom collected in omnibus form on page 24.
So many omnibuy this month.
Yeah, and for that matter, a library edition of Kevin Smith and Tim Sheridan and Tiffany Smith's Masters of the Universe Revolution here, with artwork by Mindy Lee to go along with it. That's there on page 25. Oh, that's my Eberly right here. Marvel Black and White, Barry Windsor Smith, Weapon X. Oh man, this is something right here. Originally serialized across Marvel Comics Presents 72 through 84, Weapon X is widely regarded as one of the greatest and most revelatory Wolverine stories ever told. This comprehensive edition includes additional work by Windsor Smith from the Bronze Era, including Uncanny X-Men 205 and 214, along with archival materials, a new essay from Chris Ryle and John Lind, and scans of original artwork from Marvel Archives. Every line, every detail of this modern masterpiece of sequential art is available in this 192-page comic, and it's only $60. That is not bad for one of these things. So, yeah, if you're a huge fan of Weapon X, a story that very much changed the scope of Wolverine's history for forever, essentially, that is definitely worth checking out on page 26. Then on the next page, the Marvel Comics covers of Jack Kirby Volume 3 is available there on page 27 with a whole bunch of Kirby goodness. The first collection of the Usagi Yojimbo Kaito 84, available on page 32, all 5 issues of that new series to start us off with for a very unique take on Usagi Yojimbo in modern times, his descendant. So definitely worth checking out if you're a fan or if you just want to get some Yojimbo action that's a little bit more modern. Then Rin Suzukawa's Asobi Osabase Omnibus Volume 1 collects the first 3 volumes of that series, all about 3 teenage girls bonding in chaotic fashion as they play strange games in school, creating a unique club for each other. That's on page 34. And that concludes Dark Horse. So let's head to IDW. IDW this month starts us off with a story from the Smile universe. This is a movie I really wanted to enjoy more than I did. It had all the makings of of something like a Get Out, and it just fell a little bit short.
Oh, did you see the second one?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, this is my brain. I see the football. Where do you think my brain went, Raph? The football.
Any Given Sunday.
No. The football horror movie that came out last year. The one that kind of had like those Get Out vibes with
yeah.
Wayans in it.
I don't remember what the name of it was, but I do remember the trailer, sort of.
Was it called Him? I think
so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See, and immediately that's where my brain went, and I apologize. But yes, this is another one in the Smile universe. I have not seen the second one yet, by the way. I did enjoy the first one, but I know the second one's supposed to be better, so I need to.
It is. I saw it last year, so I liked it a lot. Yes, it was called Him, by the way. Yours was called Him.
Thank you. Yeah. This takes place in January 1995. All eyes are on the American Arena League football championship game in St. Augustine, Florida. That never happened. Nobody ever cared about arena football. The Sharks gear up for the most significant event in the AAL's 20-year history, and Maximilian Dupree, their sudden star backup quarterback, the Jeff Hostetler of the world, is feeling the pressure from his teammates, his fans, and the debt to the city's gambling underworld. A string of suicides hits the community hard, drawing a desperate sports journalist to examine their connection to the big game. No one can trust anything they see, as a mind-bending entity and its frightful visions threaten their payouts, their sanity, and their lives. So yes, Any Given Smile here. Clear eyes, full hearts, you're going to die. Available on page 2. And then Beneath the Trees When Nobody Sees gets a Halloween special that I will most definitely be checking out on page 3. A Return to Sleepy Hollow trade here by Casey Gilly and Savannah Meyer. Definitely in time for Halloween. Collects all 5 issues of that miniseries there on page 6. And this I'm looking forward to.
So it's one, yeah. Yeah,
so it's a new Star Trek ongoing by the one and only Christopher Cantwell, with artwork by Dennis Menhier. And this is combining a bunch of different Treks, and it makes me a happy camper that they're doing that. This is the Enterprise G, which is on a desperate mission beyond the known galaxy to relocate the dying Avuran people when its crew finds a perfect new home in a region of unknown space called the Epsilon Corridor. 3 pristine Class M worlds, the Trinity, await the refugees. No sign of civilization, no detectable threats. A colonist's dream, but the dream fractures fast. When Captain 7 of 9 and her divided fast-track crew begins exploring the Trinity, they uncover disturbing contradictions. Vanished structures, inexplicable artifacts, time skips, and evidence of a presence Starfleet's century-old probes never detected. Each world houses a different ecosystem, different physics problems, and different secrets, as if they've been curated or quarantined. But from who or what? This is the first arc in a new series, and I love that they're doing this. This basically continues off of the end of the Picard series, and you get 7 of 9 as the captain of the Enterprise. So. Loving it, and that's available on page 10.
I just wish the Enterprise were a prettier ship. I hate the Enterprise G.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say it. The ship design is awful.
No, I get it. It's kind of looks like a bug.
It's just they basically took the original they took the original Constitution class, they gave it fatter nacelles, and they cut the backs off of the back of the saucer, and it just looks really it's a weird amalgamation of like a 1960s Star Trek look with a modern Star Trek look, and it just doesn't work. That's fine. This is me at my most negative Star Trek man.
Oh no! Please, by all means, please, just nerd out, man. Nerd out. It's all good.
Yeah, it's just.
Good. Yeah.
Plus, it's just like you mothball the Enterprise F after a 13. Anyway, we can move on. We don't need to do this. All right. We don't need a 7-hour previews episode.
We most definitely do not. What we do need is Star Trek Halloween 2, number 1. as a Halloween
be a lot of
mystery
fun.
unfolds on Deep Space Nine. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun indeed. Alex Segura on the artwork, on the writing there, and Bailey Rosenlund on the artwork for this Halloween 1 and 2 being presented here on page 12.
And 3 and 4 on the next page.
Haha, how about that? Those are on page 13. First volume of The Last Starship by Kelly and Lanzig is presented on page 15. So if you want the first arc of that series, that's there for you. And volume 3 of Lower Decks by friend of the show, Tim Sheridan, with artwork by Vernon Smith. That is available on page 17, collects issues 13 through 18 of the Lower Decks series. And issue 22 of your Precious Turtles, sir.
Totally tubular, dude.
Jean Lin Yang still on the story there, and Pharaoh Pei on the artwork chores. That's on page 18. The Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures. This is the final issue of Saturday Morning Adventures, unfortunately. So, made it. Yep.
I don't think
Really
I'd Sarah to do it. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a really fun series. I haven't read every issue, but I pick it up from time to time. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I have to get the trades.
Eric Burnham and Sarah Meyer are your team on this final issue. Oversized and putting it to bed for now on page 22.
Then on the next page, the Nickelodeon-style TMNT hit the Jersey Shore.
Ah!
In Tales of the TMNT Coastal Chaos #1. If I knew for sure which shore point they were going to, I might be inclined to check this one out.
Maybe they'll say in the issue itself, and if they do, we'll pass it along. But
okay,
yeah.
Thank you. I mean, if it's Seaside Heights, I'm out.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, them bastards. But yeah, Tale of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Coastal Chaos #1. And I believe this. Correct me if I'm wrong, Raph, but I think this animated series got canceled already, right?
I'm pretty sure it did. This is the series based on the movie that had actual teenagers play the turtles and Jackie Chan as Splinter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is correct. And they should
totally bogus, dude.
they should theoretically be making a second movie of that at some point, unless that was canceled. So
I believe the next movie is going to be a kid-friendly reboot, not The Last Ronin. So they're rebooting yet again.
Oh,
so Tales has been abandoned, and then they were supposed to do an adult movie, like Last Ronin movie, and then they abandoned that as well.
Well, terrific. Because I really like Tales, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good movie. It was better than the Bay inspired ones.
Yeah, I will tell you, Raph, you do not need this. You do not
actually. I don't. I have a really fragile printing of this from Mirage back when they did one in 2008, and I am very afraid to open it because the binding on it is very, very fragile. So I would rather get this and destroy this. But I don't think I ordered it. Maybe I will order it now that you mention it.
Okay. All right. Well, then maybe you do need it. Okay, never mind. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Mirage years, 1984 to 1987. IDW's take on it. This is the Classics collection. This is going to be in 6x9 format, and we'll present 552 pages of it.
As a frame of reference, this is Star Trek: The Next Generation, The Mirror War. It's the mirror universe with the Next Generation characters. It's decently sized. I also have Godzilla: Rulers of Earth, which was really good, actually.
Yeah. That's there on page 24 of the IDW catalog. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze 35th anniversary by Jim Lawson. Dean Clarraine on the artwork and Jim Lawson on the writing, that is, and Jim Lawson on the artwork. But this celebrates 35 years of the second live-action TMNT movie and the last one that was any good. That's on page 28. That series of movies, that is.
I'm still mildly offended by a little too Raph because there's no such thing.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
You can't have a little. You can't be a little too Raph. That's just inappropriate.
What you can have is something that is made for both of the other people on this call that are not me. So yes, Murd, Raph, this is for you.
Yeah, I've seen this. It is Godzilla's Masterpiece Theater presents The Kaiju of Oz with a cover by Tom Scioli, story by Mike Costa, and yeah, I think Godzilla's going to destroy the Wicked Witch, the Flying Monkeys, the Wizard of Oz, the good witches, the bad witches, the Munchkin. They're all going to fall to Godzilla.
Hey, you've got Ryan Brown on the artwork for this as well. So like the man behind 8 Billion Genies.
Oh yeah.
doing the artwork for this is it's just a match made in heaven right there.
I have to say, this is probably the greatest incentive for anyone to read literature to understand these references.
Yes.
But you have to be a Godzilla fan, so it's a really specific subgenre of people. I actually kind of I haven't read anything since the first one, but I've been wanting to reread the Odyssey because that's the next one up, and also the movie came out, and I also kind of want to. I've read The Wizard of Oz as a kid. I never read the rest of the series, and I would like to jump in and finish the Oz saga, as it were.
I would encourage you to do so, Raph. And I've read all those books more than once, and I'm also Godzilla literate, so yes, damn it, I'll be buying this. Just a question of which cover. Do I want to do one of the ones that uses the W.W. Denslow style for the characters, or Xander Cannon, who seems to have embraced the John R. Neal design? You notice Dorothy is a blonde in his variant cover.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Decisions. And then on the next page, a Godzilla book from me. Hey,
you're getting nuclear destroyed over here.
Hey, quit destroying my frickin' bridge. Come on. Yeah, son of a. All right. Godzilla versus America, New York City, baby.
I got this, and my friend Demetrius over at Everyone Comics hinted to me that he may have his own exclusive cover for this book.
Oh, so there you go.
If you're interested, contact Anyone Comics on their website. Maybe they'll get a copy of one.
I've been waiting my whole life to say these words. Hey, I'm smashing it. The city that never sleeps is in for a rude awakening as Godzilla makes its way from one coast to another to take a bite out of the Big Apple. And New York City's next smash hit is going to be on Broadway, off Broadway, and actually all around Broadway. Okay, no amount of fast walking or turnstile hopping will help you escape this time. And no showtime either. No showtime. No showtime dancing will get you out of the way of Godzilla. It's just not going to happen. It's a use you of top NYC comic talent assembled to bring Godzilla to the city that created comics. And this will be coming out in September. I really think it should have been coming out a month later, not for the Halloween crowd, for the New York Comic Con crowd. I think this would have been a perfect release to time for New York Comic Con weekend. But oh well, it'll be on the shelves.
Right. I think that's what they're shooting for here. They wanted to make sure that it was done in time for New York. So just in case there's any delays, they gave themselves an extra month. And he's got to make his way down to Philadelphia eventually.
Yes,
he's
exactly.
so close now. He's on the right coast.
Mm-hmm. I might just spring them for the VIP signing with Godzilla and get him to sign this for me.
Oh yeah,
at New York Comic Con.
I look forward to Godzilla making his way to Philadelphia and being destroyed by just like a giant cannon of Cheese Whiz. It'll be great.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Give me my Godzilla with whiz.
Oh, of course. Yep. And onions. Page 35 there for Godzilla versus America, New York City. I will buy 7 copies. Street Sharks, Jawsome Justice. Once again, Stephanie Williams writing this, man. Like, Stephanie Williams is all over every catalog. This is a trade of the first 5 issues of Street Sharks because you demanded it. I'm pointing at somebody on the internet. That's the you I'm talking about on page 37. Then the Rocketeer Amazing Tales IDW Classic Collection. brings together a whole bunch of different Rocketeer stories throughout the years there on page 39. Where are we on the... Oh, no, I guess not. All right. What we do have is Dirty Donnie Must Be Destroyed, The Art of Donnie Gillis. So if you want some really awesome artwork from over the years, I've worked on stuff from, Jimi Hendrix to Kiss and a bunch of other artists and covers over the years. Do check that out there on page 46. We are now into the world of Top Shelf. And nothing new there. But we do have Valiant Beyond the Exo Man of War finale, The Pilgrimage, by Steve Orlando and Danny Parker, concluding that Exo Man of War story. Onward to the Shining City, there on page 54. And in the world of manga, we have ourselves Baddix Volume 1 by Torium Takeda. Two outlaws and a baby search for freedom in this road trip epic that combines sci-fi thrills with endearing family comedy. That's what you'll find in Baddix Volume 1 out of Alien Manga there on page 60. And that concludes IDW. And we'll head over to Boom real quick. And in Boom, a 50th issue for Something is Killing the Children by James Tinian IV and Werther Del Edera. 50 issues, man. That's nothing to sneeze at. Hard for anything that isn't Poison Ivy to get to 50 issues. So good on him for telling a long-running story right now of one of the most consistent horror books on the stands. So 50th issue there, available on page 1 of the catalog. Then, speaking of horror, Hellraiser Resurrections New Wounds #1 by Mike Costa and Paco Camalonia, created by Clive Barker, not written by Clive Barker. They want to trick you there. They want you to see that name Clive Barker and be like, oh yeah, no, he created the character. But a new era of ecstasy and agony begins here for Hellraiser in Hellraiser Resurrections New Wounds #1 on page 5 of the catalog. Really nice artwork to go along with it too. Whole bunch of Hellraiser in various forms this month. And then a Hellraiser Omnibus. Yes. Clive Barker actually wrote some of the stuff in the Hellraiser Omnibus, Volume 1. So there's that. There on page 16.
Oh, I want to talk about this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
No Gods, No Masters #1, written by Julio Anta, illustrated by Jacoby Salcedo. So this is a kaiju story. When afternoon detention is interrupted by the sudden and violent emergence of a kaiju, 3 New York City teenagers with seemingly nothing in common will band together to survive the apocalypse. Catch the debut of an all-new series from writer Julio Anta, and yeah, we already went through that. This is still, Felipe is still getting accustomed to life in New York City, and when a kaiju ravages Manhattan, he'll need the help of 2 of his classmates to rescue his mom from a wrecked subway station. From the Eisner-nominated team behind Frontera and This Land is Our Land, a Blue Beetle story, comes a new adventure that, amid the blockbuster destruction of a kaiju rampage, focuses on the people and communities most impacted. Now, usually when it comes to the Godzilla fandom and kaiju fandom in general, there's 2 schools of thought. One is humans are stupid, give me all the kaiju fights.
Yes.
And the other is with humans are absolutely necessary because they provide the depth and background and gives you something to care about and to root for in the middle of a kaiju horror story. Mm-hmm. I've been in both camps before. I think in my later years now, I'm more of in the second camp and this seems to be more my speed because yes, don't get me wrong, I definitely want to see giant monsters blow stuff up and beat each other up and everything. Sure. But without the grounding of a human being to care about, I can get my mindless violence. I can get mindless violence anytime I want. I mean, the Avengers Doomsday tickets just went on sale, by the way, and that's going to be a lot of violence and a lot of fun.
Mhm.
So again, what stands out, what makes the kaiju genre special is the human connection away from the giant monsters, and how important, like Godzilla -1, that's the ultimate example of that. So yeah, this seems to be something in that vein, along with a little bit of I get a little bit of a Breakfast Clubby vibe with the whole detention bit with the three kids. Maybe they're gonna bond over their detention and surviving a giant monster.
Can we just have this crossover with the book we were just talking about? You know, Godzilla making his way to New York. Like,
Yeah, why not?
let's just have this be the spin-off book that they didn't realize existed. Like, come
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, this A train has been delayed due to kaiju attack. We apologize for the inconvenience. Thank you for holding. That there on page 17. Artwork looks mighty fine too. It has a bit of a Brian Lee O'Malley feel to it. I feel, yeah. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 4th issue by Marguerite Bennett and Philip Sevi. That's there on page 27. And Go-Go Power Rangers Omnibus is presented here. A whole bunch of the Ryan Parrott, Cinna Grace, and Marguerite Bennett issues of that are there on page 33. Collects the whole darn thing. All 32 issues of Go-Go Power Rangers, as well as Forever Rangers #1 and Back to School #1. And that... Oh! Real quick. Gem and the Holograms, book 1. She is truly outrageous. Kelly Thompson, Sophie Campbell, and Emma Vicelli. This brings this back into print. Collects Gem and the Holograms 1 through 10, along with bonus B-side content, including the annual, holiday, and Valentine's specials that were released. This was a really fun comic when it was coming out, and I'm glad to see it collected in full here in 6x9 format. So everybody can go ahead and read this and enjoy it. Gem and the Holograms, book 1, here on page 39 of the catalog.
I think this was at IDW back then.
I think you might be right, actually.
Yeah.
And then...
Because they had My Little Pony, and it's all part of the same family.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The Uncanny Valley Complete Collection. I was waiting for this to come out, because I was tempted to buy the volume 1 when it was released, but I had a feeling they were going to release it all in one package, and here it is. This collects Uncanny Valley issues 1 through 10 by the one and only Tony Fleeks and the one and only Dave Wachter, and all 10 issues of Uncanny Valley presented here on page 41. It is a damn fine comic book and well worth checking out for anybody who's into any sort of crossover of different styles and genres, and also just like old school cartoons. This is all for you here with Uncanny Valley. And let's dip our toes into Oni. And this is where I mentioned we are seeing Archie for the second time. As in collaboration with Archie Comics, Ben H. Winters and Fabio Moon bring Archie to Oni with a brand new Archie #1, with variant covers by the likes of Stuart Immonen, Fabio Moon, Carl Kerschel, and Kari Randolph to go along with it. Being young never gets old. The Milestone Comics publishing event of the year starts here as Oni and Archie proudly present a groundbreaking new ongoing series for the most joyous comic book icon of all. So we got a new start here for Archie, similar to what happened a couple of years ago when they rebooted the character a little bit. This seems to be what we're getting here with your postmodern malaise has arrived. The antidote for your postmodern malaise has arrived with the all-new Archie #1. Hope it turns out to be a good time for all involved. I like the Carl Kerschel, mixing the two styles there. More realistic Archie with old school Archie on the movie screen.
Too bad there's no foil cover
There is.
for that cover.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry, you'll have to settle for another foil cover, Raph.
Yeah.
Stuart Immonen's a foil cover, so you can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, no, I do love Stuart's work. I've been a big fan of his for a long time.
Yep. All right. Scrolling down a little bit further, Kristen Ward's Forever Home, 1 of 6. That's on page 6 of the Oni catalog here. They have all the time in the world will be enough to save them. Christian Ward prepares you to challenge the limits of time, technology, and human endurance itself as one family's refuge from the end of the world becomes a mind-bending nightmare reaching far beyond the future. Inside, time stands still, but outside, something even worse from the apocalypse awaits. That is for the Forever Home, issue 1 of 6, available on page 6 of the catalog. And in their EC partnership, we get Cruel Kingdom 2, number 1 of 6 here. Always remember, heavy is the head that wears the crown, unless the king is about to get it lopped off. That's the type of fun you'll find in Cruel Kingdom 2 here by David Booher, Matt Boers, Jude Ellison, S. Doyle, artwork by Ryan Kelly and David Lapham and Lucas Kettner. So that's all there for you there with EC Action on page 10. Ooh, Mind Management New and Improved issue 4 here by Matt Kent. So any of you Mind Management fans, we're deep into it now with the 4th issue there on page 16. And Adventure Time gets into the Halloween special Action by Jeremy Malul and Adam Seitz. They got a nice Halloween one-shot for you on page 18. And issue 3 of 4 of the quadruple feature by Mariko Tamaki and Brenda Hickey here, as we're getting different styles of movie with each issue. And this is BMO's time to shine, as we talk about her unforgettable music career in the legendary 1990s documentary Hit the Beat One Time. What do you mean you never heard of the legendary 1990s documentary Hit the Beat One Time? With a backup ensemble featuring the host of familiar faces exploding across the silver screen in his love letter to genre and cinema. Get ready to be me, be more, be mo. That's there on page 19.
And yeah, always publishing some more Archie stuff.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Archie, The Decision, and Other Stories. Some of the Roberto Aguirre Sacasa stuff, along with George Gladier, Tom King, Mark Waid, Kathleen Webb. This is all the previous relaunch stuff, essentially, with some artwork there by Bob Bowling, Adam Hughes. The list goes on and on.
So. I kind of remember The Decision being a big deal, but I don't remember what it was about exactly.
Yeah. Decade-spanning collection of Archie's greatest escapades, past and present, curated by King and Parent. So This is just like almost like the greatest hits, if you want to put it that way. And then I'm sorry, this is the actual relaunch stuff when Mark Waid and Fiona Staples were working on it a couple of years ago. So Archie New Riverdale Compact Edition, nice 6x9. I'm sorry, 5.510 by 8.46. Not 5x9. No, that would be silly. But this collects all 6 issues of Waid and Staples' Archie reboot from a couple of years ago. All right. And that is going to conclude Oni. So let's head back to the main catalog and go through some stuff. And on we go to Dynamite, actually. And boy, oh boy, Mark Russell and Lorenzo Ray bring us back to the world of Firefly. All the Whedonverse stuff is now under the Dynamite tentpole. And as this series begins, Mal Reynolds is desperate for cash to keep Serenity flying, while Simon and Kaylee must pose as a married couple to pull off a heist, but end up with more than they bargained for when an old caper comes back to haunt them. This issue features a premium mystery blind bag, of course it does, which contains 3 limited editions of the issue selected randomly from a range of variant covers exclusive to this offering, as that is now the thing that people do. But Firefly issue 1, that's on page 227 of the Lunar catalog, or page 3 of the Dynamite catalog if you prefer. Chitara gets her own series, written by Saladin Ahmed. with artwork by Andrea Ancari to go along with it. Some very good teaming right there for a character like Chitara. And I really dig the new take on her outfit here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Modernized
Love
and
the look.
sleek. Yeah. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Flash outfit with the piping. Which makes sense considering she's fast.
Her name is Chitara, and she's the fastest cat alive.
That is very true. Yes. So do check that out for any of you Thundercats fans there on page 233/9. The Pumpkin Queen graphic novel of Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas. This is both the hardcover and trade paperback editions available by Amanda Dibert with art by Alessio Patillo and Sandra Maria Perea to go along with it. Again, perfect timing for Halloween for more Nightmare Before Christmas comic books on page 236/12. And a very awesome art style that easily evokes the claymation while being a little bit of its own stuff there, too. It was going to happen, baby. It was going to happen. They had Space Ghost, they had Herculoids. Why not both? Herculoids and Space Ghosts versus, yes, Space Ghost versus Herculoids #1, David Paposi, Jonathan Lau. I'm down. That sounds like fun. The countdown to Space Ghost Season 3 begins here with this crossover with the Herculoids. I feel like I'm sitting down in 1993 watching Cartoon Network right now.
Yep.
Page 15/239. Yours Cruelly. Huh. Becoming Elvira, the graphic novel adaptation. You're basically adapting her autobiography. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very cool. So get artwork to go along with it, essentially.
I know someone's a big Elvira fan, and I showed it to them.
Nice. Was it RuPaul? I know RuPaul's a huge Elvira fan.
No.
Okay. All right. Just
although she also loves RuPaul too, so.
Well, there you go.
Or I'd see she loves other drag. I think, yeah, something like that.
Okay. The Supernatural Wayward special. This dramatic tale leads directly into 2 new supernatural epics beginning in October. Because what never ends? Supernatural. There's always a supernatural story to be told. There's secretly a new season of Supernatural, even though it's been canceled, I swear. But yeah, any of you Supernatural...
They're still filming.
They are. Yeah, no, they definitely are. Absolutely. You've got more here for you on page 247/23. I have this on my shelf, but I will once again mention it here. Gargoyles, The Classic Years, Volume 1, on hardcover form, is available now on page 29/253. Collects the old Marvel Comics Gargoyle stuff with some artwork by Amanda Connor in there as well. All 11 issues of that Gargoyles stuff from Days of Yore. Still very happy there's a Tailspin book. That's all right there. Whoa. The Thundar the Barbarian collection by Jason Aaron and Michael Cho collects all 6 issues of that excellent pairing of creators there. Page 42/266. And then volume 2 of DuckTales on the very next page, 43/267. And just because Archie has to be up at as many different publishers as possible, the trade paperback of Archie X Army of Darkness by Eric Burnham and Bill Galvin is offered here, and that is on page 46/270, closing out Dynamite in the catalog. All right, let's scroll down a bit more to Pooh Bear Adventures, Eeyore's Special Day, written by Matt Cole with main and cover art by Tessa Rose and interiors. In his heartwarming adventure from the 100-Acre Wood, Pooh discovers that Eeyore has been forgotten on his birthday and sets out to cheer up his gloomy friend. With help from Piglet and a little encouragement from Thistle the Hedgehog, the friends gather simple but meaningful gifts. After a series of mishaps involving an empty honey pot and a popped balloon, Eeyore discovers that the thought behind a present matters far more than perfection. A gentle story about friendship, kindness, and finding happiness in the Little Things. Pooh Bear Adventures, Eeyore's Special Day brings that forth on page 282. And you could do this because Winnie the Pooh is public domain.
Guess I won't commit seppuku now that we've celebrated my birthday.
I guess I'll be happy for 7 minutes. Volume 1 and 2 of Wandering Sun by Shimura Takako. This is a sensitive masterpiece from Japan's most prominent creator of LGBTQ manga. Newly designed paperback edition collects the first 2 volumes of the acclaimed series in one book. It's all about the threshold to puberty and the beginning of the end of childhood. Shiuchi Nitori and his new friend Yoshinu Takatsuki have happy homes, loving families, and are well liked by their classmates, but they share a secret that further complicates time of life that is awkward for anyone. Shiuchi is a boy who wants to be a girl, and Yoshini is a girl who wants to be a boy. And that is the story behind Wandering Sun by Shimura Takako. Once again, this collects all volume 1 and 2 into one collection here on page 288 of the Lunar Catalog.
A simple isekai would fix that.
I know, exactly. Yeah. Or just do some Ranma throwing in the water thing. Like,
that too. That
all
works too.
All it takes.
Quick trip to Jusenkyo, they'll be all set.
Jesse Moynihan out of Fantagraphics. This looks like some trippy shit right here. It's called Forming. Eon-spanning, psychedelic, metaphysical, mystical, and epic work of modern mythology and comedy. A retelling of the trajectory of consciousness on planet Earth. Do some drugs before reading this, folks. This is you'll probably be able to understand it a bit more. But this looks like some very trippy shit in all the right ways on page 290. And then The Good Van Sciver, The Mess by Noah Van Sciver. A family death and a missing Picasso send a mother and son on an unexpected spring break that threatens to permanently damage their relationship if they survive the trip. When her semi-estranged and penniless hoarder father dies, Erin Messina is tasked with cleaning out his house before the bank forecloses on it. This otherwise thankless cast is given a purpose, however, when she remembers the original Picasso drawing her father was gifted in 1964. She enlists her teenage son, Jackson, to spend spring break looking for the possible ticket to long-term financial stability. Jackson, resentful and eager to shirk responsibility, befriends twin skateboarders who live in the hood and tell him about the violent murder that happened directly across the street from his grandfather's home and the murderer who still lives there. Great. Emotional baggage, paranoia, and frayed nerves stretch the Messina's relationship to the brink as the mess careens to a thrilling final act that includes two-way radio communication with the dead. This is what you will find in The Mess by Noah Van Sciver out of Fantagraphics here on page 291. Sounds like a very fascinating concept, and I want to find a Picasso. That'd be cool.
Sure. My dad totally got me one. It's like back there somewhere. I just got to go dig it out.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, this one's for us, Raph.
Yeah.
The Atlas Comics Library, number 10, Sports Action. Baseball, boxing, football. Marvel honored every sport by rendering short graphic biographies of the most prominent athletes at a time, including Sugar Ray Robinson, Newt Rockne, and Jackie Robinson. He has a highway, in the never-before collected Sports Action. So, 1949. As well as some stuff from other years here, including the likes of Gene Colan and Russ Heath in this Atlas Comics Library, available for you on page 293. And yet, didn't include the most important football pro of Marvel's lineage. Oh well, it's too late for that.
What a shame.
Phil Grayfield, the NFL Super Pro, fell outside of the Atlas years, you see. So.
Yeah, that is true.
Come on.
By a decent chunk.
Pull some strings. It's fine. It's all the same company. It'll work. Ooh. Man, Fantagraphics kicking some ass this month. Carl Barks pencils and storyboards. King Scrooge the First and Other Stories, the Fantagraphics Studio Edition. Original art edition of the work of famed Uncle Scrooge and Donald Duck cartoonist Carl Barks, presented in its finest possible form here on page 294. Anybody who's a huge fan of the Barks era Scrooge comics, or just good artwork in general, will want to check this out if given the opportunity. Further down in the catalog a little bit to Vengeance is for the Living, which I really only want to mention because I love the cover and it evokes 70s action films in a very positive way. By Keenan Marshall Keller and Alex Delaney on the artwork there. 240 pages for $29.99. They are on page 304.
I could just scroll back up for a second. There was one thing I want. Yep.
There you
We
go.
got a flaming carrot sighting.
Oh,
Yeah.
there he is.
Yep. Nice.
It's a very big deal. There he is, guest starring in this Santo Sisters Fun Special Miniseries number 2.
Goodness gracious, great balls of foobar. Nice. That there's on page 303. Got a new Diaries of Emily the Strange, The Lost Days by Rob Rieger. With her trademark black hair and spunky attitude, Emily the Strange is a follower of no one but herself. In her first adventure, Emily finds herself in the small, sinister town of Black Rock with no memory of how she got there, who she is, or even her own name. Armed with only a blank notebook and a slingshot, but befriended by 4 black cats, can she puzzle out Black Rock's hidden secret and how it connects to her own amnesia. That's there in the Diaries of Emily the Strange, The Lost Days by Rob Rieger. They're on page 309. And this looks fantastic. Drawn Inward by Daniel Nayeri and Matt Rockefeller. A fury of feelings, a boy lost and hurt, a father always there for him. When a young boy is asked to clean his room, fear, sadness, shame, confusion, and anger overwhelm him, transitioning his house into an unfamiliar maze where monsters lurk. And that's just a little bit of what you get inside of Drawn Inward. Look at that artwork, man. Oh, lush colors, it beautifully cartoony. Like, this could easily be a animated movie in like 2 clicks of a heel, essentially. Like, this is some damn fine stuff, if I do say so myself.
Shades of a Burton-esque type of movie. Yeah, I could see that.
Yep. Right there on page 312. And Merry Little Batman, a sticker storybook adventure, page 321. It's stickers. It's Batman. What else do you need? Second Generation Blues by Julio Anta and Red Dreyer there on page 325. Luis Menendez wants to be free from his immigrant Cuban-American parents' expectations. Instead, he's spending the summer delivering food for his family faltering restaurant, sweating under the hot sun and the crushing weight of a future he didn't choose. At least there's Yara, confident, assertive, and basically the girl of Lewis's dreams. She might be the only person who understands him, if only he had any free time to spend with her. Amid the chaos, Lewis starts carving out his own path, but when trying to be the son his parents need clashes with the life he wants, he's forced to face the question he's most afraid of answering: is family loyalty worth sacrificing his own happiness? And that's what you get here out of Harper Alley with Second Generation Blues by Julio Anta and Red Dreyer. Not Blue Dreyer, Red Dreyer.
Red Dreyer.
Yep. Tim Brobert's Lightfall, The Girl, and Galdurian gets a deluxe edition here. This is the first book of the Lightfall series, and it is getting a fancy schmancy 6x8.5, 272-page hardcover edition here. So,
beautiful cover design.
Yes, it most definitely is. Yeah,
I love the gold fill-ins and the pages, especially.
Yeah,
I love when the pages of a book are golden.
Oh yeah, yep. They're on page 234, and the following pages show more of what it looks like, and whew, that is some pretty stuff. The artwork inside, pretty damn fine as well. Hope Larson's got a new book, Very Far From Home. Verity Very Nelson is poised to have the perfect summer. That is until her mom breaks the news. They're going to Wisconsin to help get her grandma's house ready for sale. Very's devastated to be missing an activist workshop and lake trip with her best friends, but her mom says it's important for them to spend time with grandma who just moved into assisted living. As she's settling in, Very happens upon a shuttered pool. Her cousin Maya explains that funding has dried up for the former gathering place, and now the only place to swim is the exclusive, expensive country club. Very knows a great cause when she sees it. She and her friends spring into action and rally the community around the public pool, but an unlikely source shares a devastating tip that threatens its future forever. Can Very finish what she started, or will she leave the town worse off than when she arrived? Hope Larson is one of my favorite all-ages creators, and this sounds like it's going to be another great one from the not only New York Times bestseller, but also Eisner Award-winning author Hope Larson, here on page 339. And Frontera by Julio Anta and Jacoby Salcedo gets resolicited here on page 342. We've talked about it in the past, but it's now finally actually going to, do that like coming out thing. So, buy it. All right. Let's get down past Hermes.
Oh, those Hermes people have a lot of pictures of Dark Shadows to sell us.
They sure do. I feel like it's more and more every month. Let's say we hear. You know what? Never mind. Instead, let's talk Image, shall we? That Jeff Lemire fella, he sure does get around. Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, Crowbound #1. Here on page 1 of the Image catalog, /370. All is dark, but all is not lost. Rose isn't special. She works in the factory, just like everyone else. A dark, sprawling, monolithic structure that runs along the coast and cuts the world in two. All that's left now are desolate settlements that exist in shadow, made up of submerged villages, derelict woods, and deadly swamps. No one knows what's left of the world on the other side. That is the basic premise of Crowbound here by Lemire and Nguyen. This is a series premiere, which means it will be an ongoing on page 1/370. And, okay, why not? Why not? Page 7/376. Spawn 77, #1, by Todd MacFarlane and Mark Spears, with art by Mark Spears. In 1977, a young artist had his first ideas for a character he would name Spawn. That man was Todd MacFarlane. Now, 49 years later, Spawn is an international sensation that has spawned, pun intended, a movie, toys, games, and an animated series. Now in collaboration with acclaimed artist Mark Spears, Todd MacFarlane brings a vision of his original idea to the Spawn universe. A completely new and exciting take on the favorite character. This is Spawn 77. So kind of the Star Wars version of Spawn for us here.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yep. They're on page 7/376. Man. Oof. And that artwork is damn fine, if I do say so myself.
Yep, this is Mark Spears, the Monsters guy, who has branched out in a big way this month. There's like variant covers by him all over the catalog.
Yep.
He's been doing a bunch of variants for DC actually for a while now.
Yeah. Yep. And now he's got ongoings to go along with it. So, yep. Creep Show, just in time for Halloween, gets a volume 5, and that's number 1 of 5 here, by Lorenzo De Felici and Tyler Boss. So spooky, scary stuff, and I'm not looking at that clown much longer. They're on page 16/385. I see a gorilla and a bunch of bananas, and I'm stopping and talking about it. That's happening. Crimes Against Nature, #1. Elliot Rahal and Matea Monaco. Two best friends, a man and his ape against the world. Famous Hollywood animal trainer Dr. Kermit Groden. Kermit de Groden here. And his only client / best friend, Amigo the Ape. The first gorilla ever nominated for an Academy Award. Love it. Are framed for a crime they didn't commit. Now they're on the run. And to clear their names and save their lives, Kermit and Amigo will be forced to reveal their darkest secrets and confront each other's hidden past. Will their friendship be able to survive? A story about secrets, sins, and simians. Yes, just yes. Oh, man. Good stuff.
I just think Jamie would be buying this one.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. You better damn well believe it. Yep. Page 20/389 for this wonderful, wonderful story. Then Che Grayson brings us Exquisite Corpses, Fox Mask Killer. So from the world of Exquisite Corpses, we got a new 5-issue mini here with artwork by Adam Gorham and Jordi Belair on page 23/392. Further in we go, and Alfiusa by Gilliam March. New 6-issue mini by Gilliam March, known for his work on Batman and Catwoman and the Joker. He now returns as a solo creator after his acclaimed Carmen in this new edgy 6-part series. Romance between the irresistible Mar and the young entrepreneur Joan gets off to a flying start. In another timeline, Joan meets the enigmatic Isla on a paradise island, a love triangle in which everyone is hiding something, while a dark secret from the past awaits to be revealed. That's what we find in Alfiusa, first of 6 issues here on page 32/401. And we got a new Scroachy. Tales of Wonder, number 1 of 5. What if the world's most popular superheroes came to life? Superstar creator Steve Scroachy debuts an all-new action-packed series for fans of Ghost Pepper and the Ultimates. Stu and Jake's friendship was forged in World War II, but the one thing it couldn't survive was the comic book industry. As their Wonder Comics creations grew from 4-colored sensations to a global phenomenon, everything changed. Now these two legendary comic creators have reunited to launch the America's Freedom Force cinematic universe, only to discover the make-believe superheroes and monsters from their stories are very, very real. Can Stu and Jake overcome decades of bad blood and stolen credit? They better if they're going to help save our world. Kind of like a Cavalier and Clay meets 1980. What was the name of the Mark Miller? Was it 1989? I think it was called
85.
85. Thank you. 85. Yeah. So a little bit of both thrown in there for good measure there on page 37/406. Whole lot of stuff in mid storyline. Capes issue 11. Plus Robert Kirkman and Corey Walker continue an all new adventure of Elemental, that is, in the backup for Capes. That's on page 54/423. And I think we're going to go down into the... no, here we go. G.I. Joe issue 26. Round 2, G.I. Joe and Night Force won't back down. Epic battle between the two teams takes a dangerous turn as a new Joe enters the fight. Can Baroness's secret mission stop the war? Josh Williamson, Tom Riley, Lee Luffridge. G.I. Joe 26 on page 68/437. And then, of course, issue 332 of the long-running G.I. Joe series by Larry Hama with artwork by the excellent Pat Olive. That's a name I do not hear enough these days.
No.
Yep.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Out there on page 69/438. Lucky Devils reaches its 10th and final issue. Charles Soule and Ryan Brown's epic there, reaching its conclusion. So there will most definitely be a trade of that forthcoming. And Monstrous is at issue 64 now. Major Lou and Sana Takeda, long running, page 83/452. And Radiant Black is at issue 45. And there is pizza on the cover. Page 85/454 for that. All right, let's head on down. Transformers, Kirkman, Howard, Spicer. Clearly, Morrow was busy. But the new... I know. The new Superion debuts. That's right. In a move no one could have predicted, I mean, maybe, Thundercracker takes his place among the aerial bots. They assemble just in time to... Wait, what's that sound? Could it be... Cobra! Transformers number 36 on page 96/465.
I wasn't expecting Thundercracker to join the aerial bots. Were you?
No, I wasn't.
I never expected that, but I'm also a little behind on Transformers, so maybe some things have changed.
Maybe. I mean, I would have never expected the Spanish Inquisition, and yet it happened. So, you know.
So true.
Grant Morrison's Nameless gets a 10th anniversary deluxe hardcover. All 6 issues of the Nameless series, all about an astronomer who kills his family, then himself, leaving a cryptic warning. And what goes behind it from there. Chris Burnham and Nathan Fairbairn are your art chore team, and Grant Morrison on the story. That there on page 104/473. Stray Dogs hardcover collects Stray Dogs 1 through 5 and Stray Dogs Dog Days 1 through 2. Tony Fleek's Stray Dogs there on page 106/475. And Super Creep Show, which is absolutely original and in no way sending up an homage to a famous cover by some guy named Frank. Kieran Gillen, Jerry Duggan, Marv Wolfman, Ram V, and more. Earth's mightiest superhero horror series assembles for Super Creep Show 1 through 5 and Super Creep Show Special number 1. The cover B is their take on the famous Days of Future Past cover, so gotta love it. Page 107/476. And then Jeff Johns and Peter Tomasi's $1 Trillion Kid trade paperback. It's not Richie Rich, we swear. With artwork by Francis Manipool and others. They are on page 108/477. And friend of the show, Zach Davison, along with Jim Zub, with art by Stephen Cummings and Tamara Bonvillain, bring us Wayward, the compendium. This collects all 30 issues of Wayward into one giant ass package here on page 109/478. And G.I. Joe Volume 4 brings us the crossover we all wanted. Optimus and Joe's, baby. That's there on page 110/479. Battle Beast gets its 2nd volume. Collects issues 7 through 12 of Battle Beast. Page 113/482. Here we are into the lab. And interesting. Steve Niles and Andrea Moody bringing us Callisto. A string of murders, a lost colony, a darkness that has been waiting 300 years for someone to come looking. Some cases change the detectives who work them. This one could destroy them. That's your story behind Callisto, and some excellent creators behind it as well as Niles and Moody there on page 487. So is this part of the Image solicitations, or is this its own thing? No, this is its own thing.
No, this is something. Different company.
Okay, wow. All right. Good on them for getting some damn fine looking artwork there. And right there we go into Mad Cave. And Escape from New York, Escape from Chicago. Escape from New York, Escape from Chicago. Okay. Kyle Higgins. He's escaping 2 places this time.
Very true.
By Kyle Higgins and Val Rodriguez out of Mad Cave there on page 495. And then new Sunder. Sunder number 1 by Pierre-Alexandre Comtois. He is the author and the artist of this. This is the story of Zeke, a goat-looking orphan living in a monastery within the far reaches of the galaxy. For reasons he was never told, He's restricted from ever going outside the perimeters of the monastery. Taking care of the library, he reads and transcribes books filled with heroes and adventures, yet never gets to have any on his own. That is until one day when a magical book appears in the library and attaches itself to him. Magic. Sci-fi. Adventures. Monsters. Welcome to the world of Sunder.
A lot of goat heroes this month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I know what I'm going to be putting in the breakdown of this episode. Lots and lots of goats. That there on page 497. Once again, some really well rendered artwork to go along with it there. That's a scary ass bat. And
yeah,
go ahead.
I pre-ordered this. You Are on Native Land, a charity comic for indigenous rights. Native Voices sing out in a star-studded fundraiser anthology. You Are on Native Land and collects stories and art donated by some of comics' biggest indigenous creators, such as John Proudstar, Maria Wolf, and Steph Littlebird. Tales of Native resistance, family, and kinship, love and grief fill this beautiful collection, which includes a special reprint of Tribal Force #1, credited as the first comic to feature a superhero team made up entirely of indigenous heroes. This was the winner of the 2025 Clampett Humanitarian Award with the book LA Strong. Publisher Mackey Studios continues its commitment to giving back with its third fundraiser anthology. I believe this goes to all profits will be donated to indigenous-led organizations with special focus on the missing and murdered movement. Because there are quite a number of Native women that just are disappeared and never seen again in this country. And it's something I've heard about before that I don't really know too much about, but I've heard about it. And so it's really, I wanted to talk about this because it's really cool to see a comic book company contribute to a cause like that.
Oh, definitely, yeah, and I see creators like John Proudstar, art by David Mack involved with this as well. So yeah, this is for a terrific cause here. So You Are on Native Land, a charity comic for indigenous rights. That's there on page 499 of the Lunar, and volume 1 of Havana Split by Bree Maud and Vic Macchiochi is available there on page 501 as well. Let's get down a little bit further. Most of this stuff is 51 volume 1. Kurt Pyers and Jock, but not that Jock, are behind this. When the president's black sheep son is caught on a bender in Malibu, he's sent off to Area 51 to work in a warehouse. Doesn't take long for him and his coworkers to mess up. When they do, they mess up big, and all the secrets, horrors, and wonders housed at the black site are now leaking into the world and wreaking havoc. That is the story behind 51 here on page 527. Speed Racer Tales from the Road, Volume 1, kind of a Speed Racer anthology book on page 529. And volume 3 of the deluxe edition of Dick Tracy by Alex Segura and Michael Morecci, with art by Geraldo Borges to go along with it there, page 534. And let's get a little bit more into the book here. Most of this stuff is skippable. Here we are in Massive Indies. And what do we find? Pancho Villa, Monster Hunter. Some revolutions awaken hope. Others awaken things that should have remained buried forever. That's what we get here with Pancho Villa, Monster Hunter by Hector Rodriguez III and Ariel Medel out of AMP Comics in the Massive Indies section. It is called Pancho Villa, Monster Hunter. Thank you. Page 567 for that. We are continuing to celebrate Devil's Dues 25th, so here's to that once more. And Heavy Metal Magazine number 7, here on page 599. with a whole bunch of different stories. This one's got a West Fantasy debuts in this one by Jean-Luc Iston, Bertrand Benoit, and Elodie Jacquemayor. So that's there for you in the 7th of the new edition of Heavy Metal Magazine on page 599. Deadhead by AC Medina and Gabriel Fonseca. Not Death's Head, Deadhead. Deadhead's new mentor restores his body just before a clash with Grand Theft Alice, a werecar with a serious case of road rage. Deadhead takes on the tricked-out motorized slasher in an adrenaline-fueled burst of high-speed violence on the fast lane to hell. That is Deadhead out of Iron Age Comics by AC Medina and Gabriel Fonseca, issue 8 indeed of Deadhead. I'm going to be able to skip through most of the indies this month only because a lot of them are mid-storyline rather than new. So let's move on to Paper Cuts. And Jane American by Jason Douglas and Annie Wright. During the war years, Jane is living a life of family, stability, and hope until she isn't. Until the war delivers tragedy to her front doorstep and challenges her in unbelievable ways that are better left hidden. The end of the war brings with it the reality that Dad is not coming home and society is determined that Mom can no longer be a Rosie the Riveter to support her family. This leaves Jane with a choice: stay safe, stay hidden, or embrace who she really is and what she can truly do for the sake of everyone that she loves. Jane American is brimming with the universal and relatable themes of identity, self-worth, you being you in a world that tells you something different, while exploring the appropriate for all ages concepts of friendship, isolation, family, superheroics, and standing up for what you know is right, even in the face of self-doubt and insurmountable odds. So that is Jason Douglas and Annie Wright's Jane American for you on page 654, that is. And then there's Donald. Disney's Mickey and Friends, Donald Duck and the Goalkeeper Glory. World Cup's over, but there's still soccer in the world of Disney, baby. There you go.
Yeah, where most of their classic Disney character creators are European, where football is king.
Yes, indeed. Yep. And still glad Messi lost. Anyway, page 656 brings you a nice, fun soccer football tale of the Disney characters. Loudhouse. There you go. Yep. Volume 28.
Yep. Somebody's buying them. And that somebody is me. Anyway.
There you go. Yep. Mm-hmm. They're going to rename the company to Murdo Inc. soon in your honor, I think.
An honor I would not deserve.
Disney Graphic Tales Zootopia 2 by Steve Belling and Denise Shimbakuro. So this collects, basically this tells the full story of Zootopia 2 in graphic novel format. That's there for you on the spooky page 666 of the catalog. Ooh. And Disney Winnie the Pooh, the 100 Acre Wood comic treasury. Written by A.A. Milne, Don Ferguson, and E.H. Shepard and Richie Sparky Moore are behind it. These are originally published Pooh strips from 1966 to 1986. Spend your days with everyone's favorite honey-loving teddy bear, Winnie the Pooh, in a series of fun, lighthearted comic stories for everybody.
Probably reproducing a few pages of the original Pooh children's books, too, because A.A. Milne and Ernest Shepard were the creators of those.
Well, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's some really well done strip work there. So nice to see that in any sort of collection. And in this month's Comics the Magazine, on page 674 of the catalog, the Crime and Punishment issue is here. Who is the creative team so reliably great that our editor-in-chief has his local comic shop reserve everything they do? Brubaker and Phillips. Wow, I didn't know the editor-in-chief was Chris Eberly. The creative team behind such hard-boiled masterpieces as Criminal, Reckless, Pulp, The Fade Out, Kill or Be Killed, and many, many more. That's who. We talked with Sean and Ed about all they've got coming up, including more Criminal and the upcoming Unfinished Tales. All new original cover by Mr. Phillips. And to make Brent happy, because he was complaining about this, it's now 40 pages long. So it's now it's not just the size of a comic book now. Now it's at least a little bit bigger than that. And it's only the price of $3.99. So, what can you go wrong with a comics magazine?
Not bad.
Yep. Not bad at all. What's that? A taxi? Okay. Real life comics only in New York. I swear I don't just pick the New York books, but sometimes they just call to me. The anthology features work from cultural luminaries and underground icons alike, including Roz Chase, David Collier, that is, not Dave Coulier, Joe Dater, Gary Dumm, and others. As they basically tell stories within the realm of New York City, each conveying a singular voice and style within the city's ever-evolving mythology. And that's out of Cosmic Lion Productions here on page 710. Real-life comics only in New York.
I mean, Concrete Jungle, Wet Dream Tomato.
Thank you. Thank you for Wet Dreaming Tomato. That's good. Yeah. Snip #1, the publisher, Pesto Comics. It's got a little bit of pizzazz with Adriano Ariganello and artwork by Riccardo Facchini and J.P. Jordan to go along with it. Celebrating local comic shops, a special advanced release variant of Pesto Comics' highly anticipated new title Snip, exclusively available for local comic shop day ahead of the series debut in October. So we'll talk about this more in October, but local comic shop day, go and support your local comic shop. Did I know it existed?
Is that different from Free Comic Book Day, or is that what they call that now?
I think that's different because I didn't know it existed, but it's coming out in October, so it can't be Free Comic Book Day.
Right, that's why I got a little confused there.
Yeah, I think it might have. I think it might have to do with the when they used to bring out the Halloween comics and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Halloween Horror Comics Fest or something like that.
Right. I think it might be something to do with that, but don't quote me. Ooh. That's some good artwork right there. 5 Bullets, 6 Men. Written by Todd Blank and artwork by Alex Garcia. In a city known for crime, a crime will once more reshape the city. 5 men, all rulers of the mafia underworld, are found shot dead in a crowded room, and no one knows who did it. Now a dedicated detective must find the truth, unravel the mystery of the sixth man's identity and motivation. So some noir crime mystery action here in 5 Bullets, 6 Men on page 730. And look at that artwork on page 731. That is well executed. Blacks and whites, best you can use them.
Deceptively simple.
Mm-hmm. Golden Age Classics, Black Condor and the Ray, Volume 1. Written by the one and only Will Eisner with artwork by Lou Fine, Charles Sultan, and Phil Bard. Bringing us way back with some Black Condor and Ray comic books here on page 741. Long before the characters belonged to DC.
Mm-hmm. Back in the days of the Quality Comics Group.
Indeed. Yep. Some great Will Eisner creations there. They got a whole lot in there this month, I'll tell you what. All right, let's get down there.
All right, already, PS Art Books.
Seriously. All right. We're in 2000 AD. And will bring us The Dark Judges, The Fall of Dead World Omnibus by Keck W. and Dave Kendall here. This collection contains all the Fall of Dead World stories from the first 3 volumes, all in one omnibus form. So spooky 2000 AD work for you on page 781 of the catalog.
So a funny thing about that name, and I don't know if it's a reference to that, but on the streaming website Twitch, there are emotes that you can use, right? But there are also unofficial emotes that get used. And Keck W happens to be an emote of an old guy laughing that's used when you find something funny. And if I can get this image into our chat, yeah, there it is. That's Keck W on Twitch. I'm wondering if there's I'm wondering if it's a coincidence or not.
It could be a coincidence, but also I wouldn't be shocked. So, yeah,
it's just I spend my time with children, so I know these things.
Now, young adults.
Yeah, they're younger millennials. They're not even Gen Z. They're just younger millennials, but still.
I'll also mention, now that we've gotten the Keck W out of the way, Scream Hollywood Special 2026. I'm sorry, I grew up on Freakazoid. Whenever I see the word Scream, that's exactly how I have to say it. But it's another anthology here for Halloween, the Scream Halloween Special 2026 on page 785. Presented in Screamo-Vision. And down we go. New Babysitters Club special, Babysitters on Board, by Ann Martin, with artwork by Raina Telgemeier. So Ann Martin covering the story on this one, but Raina's still on the artwork, with Gail Galligan also on the art chores. Babysitters Club graphic novels continue to be some of the best-selling graphic novels, period. And Raina Telgemeier is very much to thank for that. So, new special for the Babysitters Club out of Scholastic. Almost missed it.
Dude!
Turtles Illustrated Novel, Volume 1, Splinter's Dojo, by Dan and Jason. Whoever they are. Nice all ages Turtles Illustrated Novel action here for you on page 813.
I would have gotten it, but I have a very big bill this month.
That is fine. We are now in Titan. Vampire Survivors, number 1 of 5. David Hazen, Jimmy Kuchug. The things that go bump in the night fear only one thing: survivors. They grow in strength and conviction and now use their expertise to vanquish those very creatures with whips, magic, knives, and garlic. That's how you survive vampires. So that's how they're going to be vampire survivors. Number 1 of 4 here by David Hazen and Jimmy Kuchek. That's on page 823. Got a new Tank Girl. Tank Girl in Blue Helmet. Ewan and Martin's Tank Girl in Blue Helmet. Single standalone comic. This story was originally published in 2 parts in Deadline magazine in 1992, almost 35 years ago. And now it is back in print for the first time since. So an somewhat lost Tank Girl story back in print on page 826, the 35th anniversary summer special. Conan the Barbarian, Tides of the Tyrant King launches this month. Written by Jim Zub with Jesus Marino. So Conan of Samaria believed that Thusler Doom's evil had been banished forever, but the Atlantean necromancer's dark power stirs once more. If it cannot be stopped, the dead shall overtake the living. So just in time for Halloween, even Conan the Barbarian can get in on the action. Tides of the Tyrant King here on page 831.
I might have to get one of those box sets to finally catch up with Conan.
You're probably going to have to, yeah. But we are in the Conan the Barbarian Original Comics Omnibus Volume 9 now, where they just took the Marvel out of the corner box and kept the rest of the corner box. How very clever of them. These are the Val Zemeckis stuff, and it includes issues 214 to 240 of Conan the Barbarian and issue 16 of a strange comic book called What If? Huh? Yeah. Huh. How about that? They can publish it because it's a Conan book. They got the permissions. Page 842. I think that's going to take us out of...
The Robert Howard estate owns Conan, right, at this point?
I believe you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's touch on this ever so quickly here. Graphic novel Spielberg by Amazing Amaziana, spotlighting the inimitable multi-award winning Steven Spielberg. Take a look at both the impact of his movies and the narrative of his life from his cinematic viewpoint in this biographical graphic novel Spielberg here on page 856. And now let's head down into tomorrow's. And in tomorrow's tonight, Son of Monster Mash! The long-awaited sequel to Mark Voger's sold-out mega-hit Monster Mash in stores 10/7, just in time for Halloween there on page 889. And we also have Marvelmation, Jack Kirby's final act in comics and animation from 1976 to 1994. So some late career Jack Kirby stuff on display here in the form of superpowers and the Hunger Dogs, Captain Victory and Silver Star, Destroyer Duck, his 1970s weird ass Marvel stuff that Chris Everly loves so much. all that available inside of Marvelmation here on page 890.
Plus, there's coverage of Jack's animation career, including a host of shows you never knew Kirby was involved with.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's going to mention that whole Argo thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it should. It was important not just to his career, but to cinematic history. So yeah,
Real world geopolitics, and he contributed art to a pretext that helped American intelligence get hostages out of Iran.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no question. Yep. Page 891, we get a Jim Shooter-focused issue of Back Issue Magazine, issue 171, celebrating Jim Shooter's years at Marvel with a look at the Shooter era. We examine Shooter as writer on Secret Wars, Avengers, and Starbrand, and they also look at comics that were created during his time as Marvel's editor-in-chief, such as Moonshadow, The Death of Phoenix, Roger Stern's run on Spider-Man, and features the works of Shooter, Zek, John Beatty, J.M. DeMatteis, John J. Muth, Claremont, Burns, Stern, Romita Jr., and others, with a Secret Wars cover by Mike Zeck and John Beatty, which is damn fine if I do say so myself. And then we still need to get together and get this man on. Hopefully when I get back from Albany, we'll be able to plan something, as the Crisis Companion is once again put in solicitation here as well by Kevin Miller. And again, we will have more to come on that at a future date. Okay. And methinks... Well, here's the actual solicitation for Son of Monster Mash on page 900, if you're looking for more of that. But let's see if there's anything at all in Udon. Mega Man, Gear Masters. He's a super fighting robot, and his name is Mega Man. That's all you need to know about him. And he's there on page 903 with a new comic. They actually have a manga biography of Momofuku Ando, the inventor of instant noodles. All right,
okay.
So maybe I'm glad I went to Udon for once. This is by Kenji Ishikawa and Sarata Uno, bringing forth the history of the man who created Cuppa. So many of us have enjoyed his creation over the years, and if you want to know more about him, they've got it for you here on page 906. And then somebody named Amelia Earhart, who's way less interesting on the bottom of that page. She can't even be found. I mean, come on, who cares?
She's in the Delta Quadrant. Whatever. Jane Lee.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything in this month. So.
The Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yes, you're right. Actually, is that
Passed that?
I passed it. Okay.
Yeah, you passed it. Go back up.
There we go.
One more. Yeah, there you go.
Got it. All right, cool. Let's finish it out on a high note. The thing that was literally on the cover of this catalog on page 916 of the catalog, by Matt Dinneman and Tivaga, with artwork by Laurel Pursuit Studio. The fact that you're coming back for Volume 2 suggests you read Volume 1. Good for you. Or maybe you only looked at all the pretty pictures. Reward, pop quiz. If you don't buy Volume 3 next, you fail. The Goblin Copper Chopper is born. Atop their new set of wheels, Carl and Princess Donut ignite an all-out meth war between the goblins and llamas, but more floors await. So this is actually the second of the Dungeon Crawler Crawl graphic novels that they were advertising here, but that's available for you on page 916 of the catalog if you want some Dungeon Crawler Crawl with some cool images to go along with it. And oh my God, Viz, how I missed you, Viz. My word, we have actual manga publishers.
Don. Yeah.
Don Volume 1. This is all previously solicited stuff, but Don Volume 1 by Yoku Nobutatsu. A nerd must fight powerful spirits and aliens, all vying for the secret power of his family jewel. In Don Volume 1 there on page 922. Also, Dr. Stone. One fateful day, all of humanity is petrified by a blinding flash of light. Thousands of years later, Taiju awakens and teams with science-loving Senku to restart civilization. In Dr. Stone, Volume 1 there. Also on page 923. We shockingly
No time for love, Dr. Stone.
That's not bad, actually. All right. For this hour, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll end with Shiba Inu.
Oh, yes.
Rules, Volume 1. Story and art by Esu Amoro. When high schooler Corey Momose goes apartment hunting to be closer to her new school, she comes across a one-bedroom unit at a shockingly cheap price. What's the catch? The ghost of a Shiba Inu dog named Moo is bound to the apartment. But for a girl as icy and awkward as Corey, is sharing a life with a fiery Moo too tall an order? Yes, clearly the answer is yes. It's the ghost of a Shiba Inu. Why not? Thank you, Japan. I love you. Page 929. All right, and I think that's going to call it for the month, unless there's anything else hiding in the bottom here, and not really, even though it's more manga, but it's all stuff that is all already out. But still happy to see that they basically gave me back my manga back of the book. So, heck yeah.
Another 1,000 pages done.
Exactly. And once again, the day is saved thanks to reading a lot of shit. So, well done, gentlemen. We made it through.
Mm-hmm. And it took us only 4 hours this time.
Not bad.
It's only an hour after my bedtime.
It'll be about 3 hours and 40 once I get rid of all the pauses. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. All right, Raph, you want to remind folks one more time where they can find your Twitch stuff and whatnot?
Yeah, I am all over the internet. Raph does stuff, including my own Patreon, where I don't really do much. I just write a couple of thoughts here now and then. Maybe someday I'll start serializing my creative work. But until then, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Raph does stuff. Pretty much on weekends only now. Every other Sunday, including this past Sunday, I run a D&D game called Okora on the Edge, where the little world I created is on the edge. Find out if it falls over the edge or not.
Nice. I hear some people are living on the edge.
They are.
Oh man. On a related note, I need to listen to a lot of Guns N' Roses before the weekend. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remind myself that they have more than 4 songs, but we'll see. But Murd, always a pleasure, my friend, and we shall talk soon.
No, I hope so.
You better believe it. And with that, Email address for Comic Timing is comictiming@gmail.com. Facebook.com/Comic Timing is where you can find the Comic Timing fan group. Please join in on the conversation there. Video versions of this and other episodes are available at youtube.com/@Comic Timing Podcast. We're on Bluesky as Comic Timing. We're on Instagram as Comic Timing Podcast. And we're on Threads as Comic Timing Podcast as well. And you can shoot us an email at comictiming@gmail.com. For Murd, for Raph, for me, I'm Ian Levinstein reminding everybody out there that there's always time for comics. And comics about Pancho Villa for some reason.